I'm so sick of it, still I can't stop. I've been calling you about your kiss and games. Your selfish bird telling me to stay. I've run out of patience, but you don't give a damn about the things I do. I'm so sick of the ways, so I take a leap of faith, hoping you will still behave, 'cause I will be here waiting.
I don't know what's up with this world, with these men that act like boys, boys that wanna be girls, girls that wanna be boys, and women that act like girls. What's wrong with ya? No, I can't get along with ya. That's why I wrote this song for ya. I hope our prayers make it to the good Lord for ya. 'Cause you know I break the law for ya. Yeah, you know I risk it all for ya. But can't get the thing after everything that I offered ya. Guess I must be offered to ya. That's what them demons say when they be talking to ya. Guess that's why I can't get a ring and you won't answer me no more calling ya.
I've been calling you, but you don't pick it up. I'm so sick of it, still I can't stop. I've been calling you about your kiss and games. Your selfish bird telling me to stay. I've run out of patience, but you don't give a damn about the things I do. I'm so sick of the ways, so I take a leap of faith, hoping you will still behave, 'cause I will be here waiting.
I am like something you never had before. One dose of this, you'll be back for more. That's for sure. What you laughing for? The last thing I'm finna be is the last resort. I'm so not put the back and forth. I jump straight to conclusions and I'm out the door. Drop these ends, get you a real one. You always stay in touch with who ain't feeling ya. I don't even know why you deal with them, 'cause you ain't getting back what you're giving them. I hate to burst your bubble, it's full of helium, but it ain't healing ya. You never really broke my heart, you just hurt my feelings. And what I learned from this is, if you looking for love, don't search for this. Shh. Don't search for this. So if you looking for love, don't search for this. Shh. Don't search for this. Shh. I'm done calling you. 'Cause you won't pick it up. 'Cause deep don't give up. I'm so sick, I'm done. I'm done calling you. You just play kissy face. Selfish bird telling me to find a way. Legendary in a Caesar, looking for a goddess with thunder thighs to be my Athena. And she ain't gotta sing it, but it'd be nice if she could hit keys like Alicia. I could be your Martin, you could be my Gina, my PYT. But though the bunny is the bugs, the king looking for is Queen Latifah. I'm living la vida loca, mamacita, hola, como esta, chica? Hey, sweetie, you like you need something sweet. Looking for Mr. Right? I'm right here where you left me at. Here to spark some excitement in your life. Mr. One-Liner, I draw pickup lines. All I do is think about you. All I do is think about you.
To my Penelope, your aura big, yet you still smelling me. licking lips like Bill Bellamy. I gotta love Jones for what you selling me. Poetic prose, spoken words and melodies. Floetic souls, working birds, fly to better things. I could be a road runner, yet you still catching me. Unforgettable like my bow tie ring, our soul tie tings, our flow rising. Unforgettable like Nat Cole sing, spiritual Coltrane, be my soulmate. Be over 10 to my Sinclair, the Kyle to my Maxine. Ain't no living single here, even got our Tamagotchis matching. No one's supposed to be here, but thank God we found. And I'm sitting up in my room and I just wanna be down. I hope you pull up on me soon so we can be out. Loving basketball too, ain't no rebounds.
Roll.
Hey, we're here and we're in here. Peace, y'all. Welcome to the Planetary Forecast with your girl, Sunshine Monet L. I'm so happy to be here. You know, I wasn't able to do, or I didn't get a chance to do the Hump Day reading. So we're going to do a little readings today too. So if you would like a reading, go ahead and put your name in the chat and say, hey, let me get a reading, yo. And in order for me to do your reading, let me go get your cards. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. All that fun stuff. Well, hold up. Get my life together, which I should have gotten together ahead of time, but I didn't. I'm trying to see what works. Okay. There we go. So again, if you would like a reading, go ahead and put your name in the chat. And there we go again. There we go. We just going here. So you already know, if you on Instagram, you backstage. If you want to see the presentation and all the pretty things with it, you got to go on and head over to YouTube to see the presentation. So what is a natal chart? A natal chart is the planetary placements when one is born. All living beings have an electromagnetic field. And this includes the terrors of the universe and your personal firmament and all the firm of things. There is a tangible and intangible side. And the intangible side is what we have many words for it, but we also have the word chakra for it. And That's on different energy centers and different levels and different colors and different frequencies and all that fun stuff. And there's a divine direct connection between your physical and your non-physical self, where when the physical thing is going through things, the non-physical thing will respond, and when the non-physical thing is going through things, the physical body will respond. They go hand in hand with one another. Same way when you feel surprised, the physical response is your heart racing and your blood pressure going up. When you feel hungry, which is an intangible thing, and your mind saying, hey, I want something, the physical response is, your body will start growing, like, your body start moving in a certain way and stuff, all that fun stuff. When you get stressed, you get headaches. So dang, I was talking about chakras, and I'm reading a thing with the natal planets. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, but yeah. So we have, that is what natal charts are. It's planetary placements, and the chakras are the energy centers, the non-physical energies. And we do a lot of different charts here. When we do the planetary forecast, we go over the tropical, which is your thoughts. That is the zodiac. That is the 360-degree circle that's divided into 12 equal 30-degree parts. And then you could even divide it even further than that into 10 degrees within the 30 degrees. And that turns into, the three, ouch. That's the three, the 36. And then you also have the lunar mansions, and you get into the 28. It's a whole thing there. It's fun, which we get into with your personal charts. And so that's the tropical chart. Now, with the Vedic chart is the constellations. Now, the constellations are different sizes and shapes than the perfect pizza slices. So that's when you're more so dealing with your actual vertex and your experiences and what you're attracting in your space. So remember, tropical is mind, thought process. That's how we think things to be. That's what we imagine. That's who we adapt to be because of our training and experience here on this plane. And that's why we relate that to that so much, and we focus on it so much, and it's like, that feels so right, like because that's actually like the shapings of you, how you think things are supposed to be, how you think you are and stuff. I gotta take those out. It's starting to hurt me a little heavy. And the Vedic is your vortex. That's the constellations. They are the physical they're the physical connection between the stars that make up that whole energy, electromagnetic field. And the constellations are chosen because based upon the fact that they go across the ecliptic, which is the sun's pathway in a year. So you look at the sun's pattern of pathway, and whatever zodiacs are on that pattern of pathway are considered a part of the constellations of the zodiacs that we give space to. And there are more than 12, but just the way we've gotten so accustomed to adjusting to time and stuff, it's like not fully added, because then you would have to add, apply different, but some people do. So kudos to y'all that are adding like Cephas and Ophiuchus and all those into the chart. We'll be addressing that as well here. So yay. And we talked about what chakras are. And you have an infinite amount, what we call 7 here. And this is how you get into the numerology chart, 0 through 10. Amen to Jeb, which is, the ultimate energy to Earth. And we align those with the planets, the sephirots, the tarot cards, numerology, Metzig netters, the netteroos, the Egyptian, gods, and there, when you get into the netteroos, when you get into the back chapters, like chapter 19, I believe that's my favorite chapter. It's my favorite chapter. And then I love the number 19, like such a divine alignment, right? So when you get into that, they do align their rishas with the Kemetic deities. And that's always a good time. And so here we address, so when we do the transit chart, we talk about where the planets are and where in the collective chakras they're located in, right? So this is how the chakras are configured. It's in alignment with the Kabbalah and the placements of the sefirot, and how the zodiac names, labels mirror the sefirot, and also the chakra names, uh and so for the root chakra we have Aquarius on the feminine side, the internal side. So on the inside you have thought, air, energy here in your root chakra. And then on the outside you have Capricorn, which is the actual discipline and authority, and how you root oneself and the experiences and challenges that create those things. We react and remember traumas more than we remember, good things, because trauma equates to, what we need to remember for survival to make something not happen next time for survival, right? So that's all Capricorn energy, right? Straightforward, like the goal of survival, like straight through. This is where we're going. This is the discipline and order because of a challenge I experienced. And then we get into the sacral chakra once you master that. And coming back down to the root chakra with Aquarius, because I feel like I missed the point. But Aquarius is also associated with social awareness. So the different connections you have with people, like this is mom, this is what mom does, this is how mom is, this is, brother, sister, this is cousin, this is aunt, uncle, this is grandparents on this side. These are these sides of family, these are these sides of friends, this is community, this is neighborhood. Da, da, da. It's those different connections that you make and you put them in your root chakra. And that's where a lot of people get their generalizations from whatever placements is in this Aquarius energy, is how they, make their generalizations. Like some men are like this, some women are like that. This zodiac is like this, that zodiac is like that. I would never do this with this zodiac. That's all Aquarius energy. That's all thought up here. The reasons for social detachment, because like I said, you're most likely to remember things that like traumatize you, because innately, on your animal self, like it's all about survival here. And if I experience something I don't like, I gotta remember that, because we're not going back to this. Survival best. Stay at the homeostasis. That is always the goal, homeostasis. And so, that's what that is. So then we get into Sagittarius energy. So that well, actually, let's start with Pisces energy. Pisces is the internal side of the sacral chakra. So now you have Mayat here, and that is the discipline and what you find joy in and pleasure in, and how you express that. Because it's good to find joy and pleasure in sensual things and sexual things. Satisfy your 5 different senses of touch, your 6 touch. But it's a way you go about expressing those things. It's a way you go about communicating those things and stuff like that. And that's Pisces energy. That's where are you in alignment with Maya? What placements do you have there? You know what I mean? And so as we are doing that in our experience, right? And our Pisces and our Olokun, are you being influenced? Are you controlling your current? Are you, this is the deep, deep thought. What you really, really like. You know what I mean? Because some people really really like certain things, and because of certain placements they're not going to do nothing about it. They're not going to express it at all. They're going to have different experiences and aspects and stuff that's going to put them in a bubble where they never even touch that. Some people never even get to know this part because it's so deep and hidden with some placements that like they can't even find it themselves. You know what I mean? So that's, you there. Now, when you get into the Sagittarius energy, now you're getting into, your masculine side of your sacral chakra. Now it's, how are you expanding on it? How are you having that energy exchange? How are you motivated? Because fire energy, that's the wands card. That's action. What are you doing with this joy? How are you indulging in it? Fire can be impatient. Fire can be engulfing. So that's where we get that energy of obsessions and addictions. You can fall into that realm if you know that Pisces, that Mayada is not super duper in alignment. You know what I mean? And so when we get in Sagittarius, it's just like, how are you expressing it? You know, what's the philosophy here? How are you expanding yourself here? How are you exploring this? Where's your level of generosity and optimism and stuff like that? And Jupiter also rules over Sagittarius. Okay. And then you get into your solar plexus. The internal energy of the solar plexus chakra is Aries. So solar plexus chakra rules over your gut. So like that's the fire in your belly. And you feel that on a physical level. Like we talked about that when we talked about, chakras, initially how the physical and the non-physical are connected. So when you're talking about the solar plexus chakra, you're talking about the gut. You're talking about the stomach. And what's connected to the stomach? You're talking about the whole digestive system here a little bit, to a certain extent. Now you're talking about the taste buds and the cravings and things that come with that. Mindset. Aries is not just associated with war and all that, but it's also associated with strategy, mindset. The gut controls the mind. So it's like what you put in here matters. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind. That is the fire in your stomach. That's the fire. We say things like that. Like, I have a gut feeling. I had a gut feeling about that. I felt that in my gut. Trust your gut, right? We say things like that, and that's exactly what it is. That's the Aries energy. That's the initiator. Because like I said, the gut controls the mind. You know that. So that thought, it comes from the mind, the gut, a lot of us be having brain fog and different thought processes and stuff like that, and sometimes that's because of a lack of a certain like vitamin or mineral or whatever, this or that's not coming down to the gut, and so it's not going everywhere else where it needs to be, and so it was controlling your mind. You know what I mean? So that's Aries energy. And also Mars rules over the solar plexus chakra, just to, remind you that, because when we, go through the chakras or whatever. And Scorpio is the masculine side of the solar plexus chakra. Now, Scorpio is the masculine side because Scorpio deals with the energy exchange, the transformations that occur, the actual death and rebirth because of whatever fire happened, right? So first it gets real hot and then it rains, right? That's the the fire, the process, right? Scorpio deals with like power and control. How are you expressing the power and control over your Aries? So this is where when we get into spaces where people start using jargon like ego death. This is where you're doing it at. A lot of it comes with the gut. That's why when people start going through their spiritual journey and stuff, the first thing they want to do is fast and change their diets and stuff like that. Because even innately they know, like, oh, I got to fix something in there so I can fix something up here. You know what I mean? So even if they, don't have the ability to verbiage that. So that's what that is. And Scorpio, because we are all water on the outside, even though we're condensed on so many levels and so many things, we can get into that forever. Y'all know how I love science. But Scorpio is that water manipulation, the currency, the transformations that's going on in your space, that vortex energy, how, what are you doing? How well are you controlling that Aries energy? Scorpion energy can be extreme too. I ain't gonna hold you, especially if you let that Aries energy go crazy. Because what does fire do to water? It heats it up. It could boil it. It could turn it into air. It's expanding. Is getting the molecules hot and expanded. You know what I mean? So you can do that to your energy exchanges. And do you not? Like, if I get angry enough and I feel it in my gut and my mind's going like, oh, and I make crazy energy exchanges thereafter. Like, how much control do I have over that? Can I still smile while that's going on the inside, while you burning up in the inside, while that fire is consuming? Because what happens is when you get angry, your gut, it just gets bigger and it consumes, right? And then it comes out in your aura if you allow it to, with that Scorpio energy. The Scorpio energy is also associated with mysteriousness and secrets, because certain things in that gut, in that mind, we don't be wanting to share, because Aries is also associated with war and that militant energy. Scorpio energy is associated with death and occultism. Sometimes that be like them crazy voices that come in your head when you don't give yourself crazy stuff. Like I remember watching that one Halloween movie with Busta Rhymes when they had the reality show and they was in the house or whatever, and Sean, I forget his last name, but he was in Save the Last Dance. He was a chef in there, and he was talking about how Mike Myers was a serial killer because of certain mineral and vitamin deficiencies he had with a certain kind of diet he had. And I'm like, ooh, that makes sense. And then I know like if you don't have enough potassium, that you can start like hallucinating and stuff, and as well. So just keeping certain things like that in mind. Remember, the gut controls the mind. So be very intentional about what you put in your gut. But yeah, that's what happens. The solar plexus chakra just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it starts creating transformations in your outer space as it gets so big, because it's like, how much are you willing to control this? And so that's why you gotta be careful with them Aries placements. You gotta be careful with those Scorpio placements. Like, use those Scorpio placements, because Scorpio placements is about control and power and secretism. How well can you control and keep something contained, right? The transformations that you make in your space, and then it's like power and control to a level of prestigiousness, which like fortune kind of comes with that too, right? Like stance, and stature, like all that comes with that. And it's just, you want to, hey, we like that here. We like that here. And Aries is about strategy too. It's not just about war. So you have some level of mindset strategy there. So that's solar plexus. Mind you, Mars rules over solar plexus as well. So this is the initiator right here. Starts with the thought, the gut controls the mind. For then we go to the heart chakra. Now, on the internal side of the heart chakra, you have Taurus energy. Taurus energy is all of the emotional energy you feel in the inside. Like, even when you think about the constellation, the stars in Taurus constellation, like Pleiades is about how you deal with wounds, how you mourn. Taurus deals with self-value, self-worth, wealth and business, like your mindset, your work ethic, your compassion in these realms. Some people are very like cutthroat in this Taurus energy. Venus rules over Taurus, so that placement and those aspects matter too. Taurus energy is about passionate energy, how you forgive, if you forgive, how long, it depends on where the other person's certain placements are an aspect with yours. Maybe they might fuck with your solar plexus so much that they hit your Taurus energy a certain kind of way. There's so many chemical equations you do to compute to certain things. And that's so cool, because it's like that with all of us about all elements, like even plants. Like certain plants that work for me might not work for you because of certain things about me, different things like that. But anyway, coming back to Taurus. So Taurus energy also deals with passionate love, love for self, love for other, different levels of love, phileo love, agape love, eros love, just all the realms of love, beauty, you know, how beautiful, what is beautiful to you, what is beauty to you, how beautiful do you feel to you, that's Taurus energy. That's all that there. And also so that's what's going on the inside, all those different things, self-esteem, stuff like that. So when you are working on that, self-aware, self-wellness, and all that self, wealth, and the wealth you wish to attract, focus on your heart chakra there. And because, on its external side of that, that's what it is. Libra energy, again, coming back to air. Libra energy is balance, the back and forth, the Libra scales, the bonds, the contracts, the interpersonal relationships, because your Venus is the central chakra on the lower 7 chakras. So it's also the balance being. So I know Venus is associated with Taurus and Libra, but the heart chakra is also associated with Leo, because Leo is also associated with our heart self. Because again, we have fire here. And then, those images where you see the heart with fire engulfed in it, that's like the Leo and the heart energy and stuff like that. It's, we fire. We out here. Fire clan, gang. Okay. So, that's that. And Libra energy is like, okay, so Taurus energy, you go through the things. Like, this is how I feel about myself. I love myself. I love myself so much. I think I'm so great. I'm so awesome. So what happens on the external side of things is the Libra energy I attract, like the balance in my interpersonal, relationships and my bonds and stuff like that, is people that mirror that energy. It's the scales there. How the scales there because of, so understand that what you attract with your heart, comes in air, like in your vortex, right? Venus is vortex. That's the middle, that's the chakra, that's where the waves come out. It's your circadian rhythm, right? How your heart pumps. How your heart pumps controls how the blood pumps throughout your body. What speed is your blood pumping? And that's the speed that other things are moving. It's the rhythm right here, just the song. So it's also coming out this way too, which is the Libra scales. So if I got this going on here, so like if you scared or something, right, and you moving like this, and somebody else can feel that somewhere, and they're looking, why is she scared? You know? Yeah, stuff like that. Hold on a second. Sir, get up. Move. Move. My bad, y'all. My dog keep laying on my stuff. Anyway, so that's what's happening in your vortex. What you gonna check? Then gonna hurt. Um. So then we go to the throat chakra. So when we get to the throat chakra, in the internal side, you got Gemini. So Gemini is your focus. This is when we get into your community, your mindset on the exploration of them, your knowledge, which you take knowledge in. This is where you get like the space where it's like the unfocused energy of Gemini, how they can go different ways and different, avenues and do uploads and downloads. And this energy is associated with Eshua, which is the crossroads, which is where Gemini energy everywhere. And then it's also associated with Peace. It's also associated with the Beji twins. So that's still two different energies. Also, Pallas and Castor, constellations if you're into Greek mythology as well. So you're dealing with like different avenues, different realms. And the thing with the story of the twins, like the moral of the story with the twins is, you could tell different stories about two people or one person, and all those different stories be correct. Like everybody had a different version of these twins. Some people saw them as these valiant warriors, and some people saw them as terrorists. And it was like they both were right though from their own point of view. And that was the whole point of it. And that's the mindset of Gemini. Like, oh, like I could see it from this side, but I can also see it from this side. So, it might be an energy shift because Gemini is air. So Gemini is sensitive to vibrations, and it will flow with the vibrations. You can't contain air, but you can, make it move with a vibration. I could do this and make a wind, you know what I mean? But I can't do this and hold it, you know what I'm saying? So, that's how Gemini energy is. So it can be unfocused. It can move this way for a little while and agree with that. And then after a while, want to go this way. And then they might decide they want to go back that way. Or they might hear a situation and agree with everybody in the room. Like, oh, that all sound great. That all sound, whatever. They can go from Jekyll to Hyde or whatever, back and forth, because, they see from all standpoints and they all, make sense. You know what I mean? And that's dope. However, to rise above this sign is to have focus. So that's the thing with that. And then you get into Virgo. So Virgo is on the external side of things. So this is when we get into harvesting, because Virgo is, the initiator of the harvest. This is the like the birthing, the material constellation that kind of like the rest fan out from here kind of energy, as far especially when it comes to farming. You know what I'm saying? So depending on how focused in things you are in here controls what you harvest out here. So like, this is where like a lot of the Abraham Hicks videos come into play. Like she really like charges for your throat chakra, as well as the secret and all that, which is essential because if you're unfocused here, you could be like, oh, I want this, I want this. But your other party, because you feel like you deserve it, right? But then it's another part of your mind that agrees with a different point of view. Like, you know what? That's kind of unrealistic. And that point of view seems reality too. So you're on both sides of the fence trying to harvest something. And it doesn't work that way. Like you can't do that. You have to have that focus there. Like I could say, oh, I want to do this, be this, be this, be this. But when you get all those opportunities presented to you at one time, it's like, okay, what are you going to do with all these opportunities? You're going to try all of them? You're going to drain yourself. You're not going to be able to enjoy them full-heartedly. You're not going to be able to expand in them full-heartedly because you're trying to do all these different things. Like it compartmentalization. And that's what Virgo is too. In fact, that's what Gemini and Virgo is. It's associated with the eighth sphere on the tree of life, which deals with labeling and classification. And according to Metu Netter, this is where man's ill lies. We are obsessed with labels because we're obsessed with invoking each other with words, right? We love to write things on paper. That's throat chakra. We love to give each other names and labels and groups and clubs and departments, and we've gone overboard with it to the point where like we just harvest in separate boxes, and this box is better than that box, and it's no more like unity or fluidity. And so with that, we gotta like dial back on the eighth sphere a little bit. Definitely in that aspect. But the throat chakra is just not the throat, it's also the ears, nose, and throat. So it's also how you listen. It's also the energy affected up here in your canal, your mucus system, that's also around your eyes. All that matters. Then we go up into your brain, your thoughts, back into Gemini energy, the intellectual energy, back into Virgo energy, the overthinker, the analyzer, the intellectual, the organizer and managing energy. But you can only do that if the Gemini energy is focused. So that's what a lot of Virgo. That's why like you get a lot of different extremes with the Virgos. Like you might get a Virgo that's super OCD-ish, and you might get a Virgo that's all over the place, but like still very particular about being all over the place. You know what I'm saying? In their mindset. Because of that Gemini energy on the other side of their throat chakra. It depends on what placements they have there to help set up their Virgo sun. Sun is your experiences. That's your experience sign. So if I'm going to have Virgo experiences and stuff, let me make sure my Gemini placement is set up correctly so that I could have adequate ones. Peace. Welcome to the Planetary 4Ks. If you're on Instagram, you backstage, you want to head over to YouTube, Less Nobodies, if you want to see the presentation that I'm explaining and stuff like that. And so now we get into the third eye chakra. Now, the internal side of the third eye chakra is ruled by Cancer energy. Cancer energy is like the internal nurturer, the feminine side. Now we're going inward inside of our third eye, our experience, us at our most comfortable self. Your moon is where they get into, eyes are the window of the soul. Because when you get into the moon, that's how you enter into the draconic chart. Okay. And the draconic chart is your moon. That's your soul, right? So that's that alignment with that, cliche quote, if you will. So your moon sign is very important. Is you at your most comfortable self, which is your soul, is your homeostasis. It's a connection between if you're looking at your tropical chart, it's the connection between your thought process and your homeostasis. If you're looking at your Vedic chart is the connection between your, vortex and your homeostasis. And remember, you don't just have a natal chart; you also have a progressive chart. So you might want to check that too, because some experiences aren't totally associated with your natal chart. Your natal chart is who you were when you first got here. You know, that inner child that you get into, and then be present as well. You know what I'm saying? So like get into your progressive chart. That way you can fully understand how you are connecting presently with the present transit chart. You know what I'm saying? But that's all Cancer energy going inward with that. That's your window to your soul. That's you at your homeostasis. That's how you nurture others, because that is your comfortable self, you know. Um, and it's a very sensitive energy, because this is when we get into the realm of vulnerability, right, and transparency, because that's how you rise above Cancer. Cancer has the shell with the claws in front. They're always ready to attack. But when you but the goal is to rise above that, and find comfort and vulnerability and transparency and connectivity, with those who match with you, while staying in tune with your intuition. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then you have Leo as the experience of your third eye. And this also comes back to the fact that Leo is also associated with the heart, being in the fifth house, which is the we're getting into the spaces of, the middle of the vortex. I told you Venus rules over the vortex. Leo is also associated with the sun. Everything the sun touches, we interact with, right? We see everything in the sun. You know, that's how the light is reflected in our eyeballs, so we can see the things we see, right? Is the sun. And Leo energy is the sun sign, which is our experiences. I told y'all the sun sign is our experiences, right? So that is all Leo, your experiences, your external self, how you present yourself to be. So that's how you go to the chakras in astrology. I didn't mean to go ham on that, but something told me to make this the topic of this episode. Every time I do an episode, I try to focus on one thing in this part of the presentation. So it felt like this should be it this time, and I'm glad it was. Once you get to the crown chakra, you get to the non-physical self. Now this is when you get into the Fibonacci in your hair, and now you're out here with the energy. And I told y'all last time, like, start paying attention to the sensitivity of your scalp and the time of the month, or the zodiac energy, to the different sensitivities to the points of your scalp, because that's starting to become like apparent. Pay attention to that. And so also elements too, we align the planets. We can align the zodiac energies, and of course the planets in alignment with said zodiac energies, to give you elements. And that's also another way you can implant energies into your planets. And I'll show you that as we start talking about the planets. Also, astrocartography is the thing. I do astrocartography readings. They're actually pretty cool, and talks about, like, the different experiences and energies, electromagnetic energies you could attract or have attracted, um, you know, from different parts of the map as we know it. And I also like how they put this map. I can't wait for this big piece of land to pop up. That's gonna be so fun. It's probably already there. We just don't be seeing it. All right. Right, because who flies over that? Nobody flies over that, do they? It's probably because it's something there we're not allowed to cross it. Now this is when we get into, not only your connection with Earth, solar plexus to solar plexus, but now solar plexus to solar plexus. So it's a nice little connection. I like that. And so this shows it again. from the different planes of existence and stuff. This is the model that we use. You know, the planets move in a nice like little. Each of them have their own little lotus situation in our skies, but like and around the sun they have we go up, down, diagonally, and that crosses each other a certain kind of way. That's why your planets make you such a fingerprint, because even if the planet was like in a certain degree, it still was at a certain latitude or longitude, ascending and descending angle and stuff like that, which is so unique to you, in alignment with all these stars back here. You're just so infinite, like the organelles in your body. So crazy. Anyway, this is like, I like this model that we use because this is a great way to see where the earth is when the sun is doing what it's doing. But this one is the one I really prefer. So we see that when the sun is in Scorpius, see, we put the Ophiuchus in here, right? I told y'all we're going to get to it. But see, when the sun is in Scorpius, the earth is in Taurus. So you have the earth being near Jupiter. I know Jupiter has been looking popping in the sky. You hear me, baby? Been looking real good. I know y'all seen big ass Jupiter. So Jupiter's in the sky. I told y'all in the astrological updates, I believe, that we were in a space where we could start seeing the moons. Actually, no, I think that was a hump day reading. I told you that we were in a space where we could see the moons, and Europa was doing this thing across Jupiter. It was a great time. Uranus is also in Taurus energy. Peace, peace. Welcome to the Planetary Progrades. Uranus is also in Taurus right now, doing this thug dizzle. And so, Earth is over there hanging out with them right now. And the sun, as well as Mars, just entered Scorpio constellation today. So now, these past 30 days or so, we've been having Scorpio thoughts, right, on the tropical chart. So transformation, empowering ourselves, really tapping into doing things and having a good time, and feeling empowered, and all that fun stuff. So now we've been thinking it. Now is remember, Scorpio rules over the external side of the solar plexus. Now is what you about to attract in your vortex. What's about to happen? What transformation is about to start happening in your space? And Mars is also in Scorpio, so Mars is also in the solar plexus. Now we got the taking initiative, the cardinal energy happening out of that Scorpio energy as well, which is really cool. You really be hearing me summon you because I'm really just started talking about Scorpio energy just now. That's so wild. Peace, peace, beloved. So happy Scorpio season. But yeah, so that is the transformations that's now happening in our vortex, because Scorpio, the sun just entered Scorpio constellation today, and Mars just entered Scorpio constellation today, and then tomorrow the sun will be entering Scorpio on the draconic chart. So as you can see there, and I was just talking about this with Timmy too. So as you can see, there is a aligning path between the Vedic and the draconic chart, because the north and south node have been in Aries Libra, which is the draconic chart, set. Like the New Year's is in Aries, so the south node is in Libra. So it's aligning that take initiative, that solar plexus, remember the gut, and the heart chakra energy exchange is the vortex. Remember the gut controls mind, man. It all starts with a thought. And then it happens. You manifest it. It's in the vortex. It's in, the Libra scales now. You know what I'm saying? So, that's so fly. Even if you think about that on a physics level and how everything just sits on a perfect thread, from atomic weight of things and connections of things and the numbers and the gravity and stuff like that. Like, ooh, a vibe. I love it here. Anyway, so where was I? So Scorpio energy, right? So Scorpio energy being on the draconic chart, as you guys can see, the spiritual line is aligning with our vortex. So we're meeting our soul tribe right now. We're having soul experiences. Everything is becoming about our soul and our spiritual self and the spiritual quote unquote warfare. However, we do know that Pluto rules over death, rebirth, transformation, extremities, and all that fun stuff. So knowing that, kind of, vibe of things, it is that, revelations realm that, Oya energy brings, right? Ashe, as well as Aries, because we're still dealing with Aries being the North Node, and that's the direction we're going in. So Pluto has been, well, during October, Pluto was square the nodes, being in the degree that it was. And with that, it was like the transformations and power and occultisms and the secrets and stuff was creating some type of, friction between, where the North and South Node was. And I remember someone in my spiritual support group, shouts to Greg, he sent me an article about some new thing that small businesses have to do now so they don't get fined or whatever. And the fines are ridiculous and absurd. And it's if you own LLCs. So, I told you guys back in 2020, you guys open up all these LLCs and all this stuff like that, and they see you moving as a wave. Please be prepared for the backlash and really know the paperwork that you're getting into, because they are going to find a way to undo everything that you're doing. Know that you're not just out here living liberty. Know that you are at war. You're playing a chess board. The issue isn't that you don't have freedom. You got freedoms. You can do stuff. You can learn how to do stuff. They're not going to teach you how to do the things that you're allowed to do, because it doesn't benefit them to. Because they know that they're at war with you. They know they're not where they're supposed to be. When I say they, I'm pretty sure y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't gotta talk about it. But like they know that they're not doing what they, we didn't ask for y'all to be here. We didn't ask for y'all to implement what y'all doing. But if y'all don't tell us that we got a choice to remove y'all, and we just let y'all tell us what to do or whatever, that's what's happening. That's also, a lot of the secrets is coming out. Like, hey guys, they jumbled the words so we couldn't read again. They called it legalese. And then they started playing more and more and started creating all these webs through the legalese. So when we finally did learn legalese, we don't know where to start with what to read and what to apply to present day, because they keep going back and forth with different stuff, amendments and 100-page, dissertations on the amendments and 100-page amendments. Like, it's just crazy out here. Like, it's like a whole labyrinth that keeps getting created every time we take a step forward. And that's because we're playing chess. Come back to Aries. Whenever I think of Mars and Aries, that's what I think of. I think of chess, because that is the real energy. It's not, I'm out here just fucking shit up. It's not guerrilla warfare. It's not mindless things. It's strategic. It's intentional. It's with purpose. What do they call it? Criminal intent or whatever. But it's a better word for it that I really like every time I hear it. But it's crazy because you get a crazy ass sentence for it. But anyway, it's playing chess. It's knowing the kind of moves and having moves always. And if you're not playing chess because you think, oh, I'm in La La Land, I can do this, and they're gonna let me, and I'm just gonna live my life. Like, bro, you're silly. You're silly. That's not what's happening. What's happening is you just made a chess move. When you got that LLC, you made a chess move. When you quit that job, you made a chess move. When you did all that stuff to your birth certificate, you made a chess move. Now they making their chess move. And then it's gonna be your chess move. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that when y'all playing chess, y'all not just gonna move to move. I hope y'all looking ahead of time. Because if y'all not, what the hell? But I told y'all that back in 2020 that this was going to happen. They're very patient with their game. Y'all know how they do it. They play for the long run, and the way things work in their department with all the bureaucracy and them pretending like things are a certain kind of way. They got to, drag things out a certain kind of way. But, it is what it is. Y'all knew that was coming. I hope y'all got y'all next move, But yeah. So back to Scorpio. And that's also Scorpio and Capricorn energy, but that is the friction with Pluto being square Aries and Libra, the vortex. Now they got this new law out and put it out, and they did all this, they got all these new restrictions to the chess moves that we made during COVID and a little bit after and stuff like that. So now it's those things happening now. So now is our chess move now, because you know I mean, I feel like it's always our moves. We could just go while they going. Fuck it. Y'all want to make up your own rules, we could play like 3-year-olds real quick, since that's how y'all want to act. It is what it is. But yeah, that's Scorpio energy. That's Scorpio draconic energy. Like I said, the spiritual lines and the vortex lines come together. You're meeting your spiritual tribe. You're doing more waves of spiritualists coming into play. So those who have been in this game for a while, stay in your posts. Open your eyes, arms, and hearts to the newbies that's coming in, and because they'll be coming in with a desire, but the same old energy, just like you did in the very, very, very beginning. You know what I mean? Go back all the way back to that part. The very beginning, where you knew better, but you still wasn't doing better yet. Because that's where a lot of this next wave is going to be coming from. They know better, but they're just not ready to do better yet. They still going to be on their stuff. So you have to, really like pay attention to your approach and how you going to come about things. I don't even need no cards to read, y'all. I'm just going to do this. Fuck it. It's going to get the downloads this way, buddy. It's a good day. All right, so these are the zodiac energies of other cultures. This is the season of Akhet. In the Kemetic culture, there's 3 seasons and 4 zodiacs per season. So you still get the 12. But what I like that better, because it gives a completion to the season instead of things just being swirled and spiraled and kind of Groundhog's Day. And then I was like, damn, what if the reconfiguration of the numbers is part of the spell? Because they do give us 4 seasons, so they keep us locked in, right? 4 is a square, but then they give us 3 signs, so 3 mid pieces per season, and 3 is creation. So you constantly in the spiral of creation, like you locked in, versus having 3 seasons. So that's the creation. 3 is the creation, and having stability within the creation with 4 seasons per creation. So at the end of each season, you got completion, season, completion, season, completion. We created season, completion, season, completion, season, completion. We created. You get it? I get it. Okay. So all in all, I like the comedic, like numerology, wise. I like it that way. It just seems like it makes more sense. It seems like, I'm always trying to think like an evil villain. Like, I just think they mess with everything. So like putting the numbers that way, I had to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like seasonal modalities. Yeah. By them like tweaking with that, like that put us somewhere too, because it all starts with a thought, and the gut controls the mind. So if the horoscope was actually created to give insight on agriculture, like horoscope is tell time anyway, see time or whatever, hour. So if that was to tell the hour or whatever, and most of it was surrounded around agriculture, if you change the seasons and how they did stuff agriculturally, and they eat in that shit, again, the gut controls the mind. That's a whole different wavelength. It's the same way how things happen here. How, like, in this season, we supposed to be fasting because it's more darkness and light and trust. I have been fasting. The universe has been enforcing the fasting. Hungry as shit out here. And, we don't do that. This is the season where people usually just start eating and overeating. This is the season where people start overindulging in sweets and stuff like that. They put themselves in a mediumistic trance with all the sweets and then watch a bunch of scary movies. Like this isn't the season where like they do the fasting things. They actually do the opposite. And then what they fill their bellies up with is not it's not. So Yeah. That's why I think like it's a kind of a hoodoo thing they did on us with that horoscope twist. You know what I'm saying? I am very grateful that the Aya Namasa between the tropical chart. Hey, pieces. I'm grateful that the Aya Namasa between the tropical and the Vedic chart is now like 24 degrees. So the 24-degree difference between the thought and your vortex. And I like that because it's like the vortex, your experiences is moving away from your indoctrination. You know how you think things are supposed to be because of your upbringing and your molding, and moving more towards your spiritual self. You know, and it's like ooh, but also because we're at spiritual war right now. So moving away from the human self and moving more towards this thing, and that's why the star seeds and the indigos and all those beings are here doing the thug dizzle and stuff. So shouts to y'all. I know I was a no nonsense somebody because I'm over here like, bro, I'm just trying to do my time and go home. And I don't know what I want to eat, but it's nothing they got on this planet because the food here is just not hitting. It be hitting sometimes, but then it don't be hitting. Oh, when I'm on my soul level and my spiritual level of eating and digestion, no, nothing on this planet hits. But when I'm in my human self, yes, certain things do be hitting. I won't lie. But lately, I've been in my spiritual level, so I've been fasting like shit, and I've been angry because y'all know I'm an earth sign, so like me not eating is wild. But like at the same token, I don't want to eat. Like my body is like, nah, I don't want nothing you're talking about. I don't want no bread, meat, or cheese. And the only thing we got around here is Jamaican, Chinese, and what at my where I work at is Jamaican, Chinese, and pizza, as far as like in the vicinity or whatever. And I'm just like, bro, this is wild. This is wild. I don't want no bread, meat, or cheese. And that's on everything there, or oils. Gotta get together. Gotta get my like recipe life back together. That's what it is. So that's what I'm doing with my Scorpio season solar plexus chakra. I gotta get my gut routine back together. That's what we going to. I have a good I drink a lot. That's how I fill myself up a lot. I take a couple spoonfuls of sea moss to start my day with, and then I just drink a lot of waters with different vitamins and stuff in it. Um, so I get like what I need, but I'm not eating food. And I guess that's okay. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. I don't feel like I'm dying. I just get angry after a while. I know we emotional eaters and shit because of Scorpio energy being water. So that's, an experience you having on the outside too. Scorpio energy. My Pluto is in Scorpio, so I be extreme with the shits. I'm hungry. um my Mars is in Gemini, so that should be on my mind. My gut be on my mind. So like this is the horoscope. Oh, we're in the year of platinum. That's the alchemist horoscope, and they go by the year, obviously, as do Rabbit. And that's because instead of going by the equatorial year, which is like the 365, they go by the whole celestial pole year, which is well, I meant to say 365 divided by a 30 day. I'm sorry. I said it backwards. The equatorial John is 28 days, 28.5 days, but they, played it to 30 days, whatever. And then the whole celestial body poles, those that equator, it makes like if you put a pole at the top and the bottom and you spin it and the little poles were doing a thing, it's that circle that they make. That is the 360, 365 type joint. And that's where the East Coast zodiac, like the Chinese zodiac, come from, and the alchemy zodiac come from too. So that's that. We are in the year of the rabbit, and that's a good time. It's a time of intuition and inner peace. We love it here. We definitely have been moving towards peace and the soft girl era, soft man era. Everybody's been getting soft, talking about their feelings and projecting their feelings on the whole wide world, and it's been great to watch. A lot of people are angry, and it's like, it's okay to be angry. Like, do your thug dizzle. And the um the Native American zodiac energy is the snake, and the snake is on the totem. It's associated with the element of water, which is still in alignment with Scorpio energy of water, and the cardinal direction of the northwest. Um, it's about enigmas and secrets, honoring secrets, humor, adaptability, supporting other people, releasing the past. So, like, that fixed energy can, water holds memory, right? Water is a very, and that's where a lot of the grudge energy comes from. And, a lot of that whole mindset that, oh, I'm reflecting your energy. And it's like, you're kind of being extreme, because when you try to look at your reflection in the water, it doesn't look exactly like you, right? I've never looked in the water and seen exactly my face. I always see some level of exaggerated distortion or something, because the water is still in its own movement while it's reflecting your energy. And that's that's a water sign. So in their space and mind, it's like, oh, I'm just reflecting your energy and what you did. But it's like, you can't, buddy. You're doing it in your own way, in your own fixed, extreme way. And it's not exactly what I did at all. But that is, neither here nor there. Water holds heavy memory, and that's where a lot of the grudges go, and how a lot of the projections of said grudges go. So that's the snake energy in alignment with the scorpion. Snake and the scorpion, right? Okay. What is this? 1 hour? Sheesh. This can't be a long one. I won't say we're gonna fly through this. We're gonna give it what it needs to give. I'm letting spirit use me with y'all. Because I didn't bring my cards. My cards are over there. And I'm like, and now because I'm just in space, I'm like, you know what? I'm in space right now. I'm being used. I don't need those cards. So I won't have you. IG froze because my phone died. But thank you. I'll get to it later. So the root chakra is also called the Muladhara, and this means root existence. So we talked about the root chakra already. In the first hour, I gotta remember to write that down. Second hour. Oh, can I do that? Oh no, I don't know what that is. Anyway, so I told y'all Saturn rules over the root chakra. And right now Saturn is in Pisces. It's in the cardinal energy of Pisces. In fact, it's at a 0 degree. So with that being said, 0 degree is a very easy degree. It's like in Finding Nemo, when the turtles were going through the wave and they were like flying through the jump. No, get down. Scooby. Jesus Christ. Okay, so that's what a 0 degree placement is like. So Saturn being at 0 degree Pisces is like and this is how we started off. So this starts on November 9th at midnight. I'm sorry, I should have started with that. The first day is November 9th at midnight, and then the second day is December 1st. I wanted to end it off on the Lilith portal day, and you'll see why when we get to Lilith. It's going to be a great day on December 1st. In fact, 12 is the lucky number, and you'll realize that once you hear me like sound off all the stuff. Anyway, so Saturn is at a 0 degree Pisces. So it's like a smooth sailing energy of experiences that's coming to the subconscious, that's telling you to create boundaries. You're going to get a lot of experiences and a lot of opportunities to implement, to speak on boundaries, to uncover some things, to tap into subconscious, to dig through hidden things, agendas, enemies, family members, because we're dealing with the root chakra here. So roots can also be family, all those different things in the unseen, things under the horizon. It's very easy to have energy exchanges right there. That's going to create the boundaries. Some of them, I'm not saying it's going to be pretty. It might not always be pretty. Check your Saturn placements and see how this is going to invoke your subconscious. Like my Saturn is in Capricorn, so it's going to invoke that space in my own boundaries and challenges and stuff like that, like how I subconsciously feel about my boundaries and where I'm at with it. I'm always in my head anyway, so it really doesn't matter. But that's what Saturn has been doing. You know, Babylao walks around with the Libra scales. The Libra scales are the scales that are ordered by Mayat, because the whole point of the Libra scales or the Oba scales is to measure your heart as light as a feather according to whose standards? Mayat, Pisces, Neptune, Olokun. That's all, you know, in alignment. So as you know, or Babylao is walking around with the scales and in alignment with Mayat. That's what's happening, you know, whose heart has been light as a feather. And that's also another reason why there's waves of a spiritual enlightenment happening amongst people. You notice if you talk to certain people, a lot of people have had their alignment during the same years. And you check those numbers and you're like, ooh, like 2018 is a big year. That's 11, you know. 2012 is a big year. That's a 5. That's humanity, you know. So you pay attention to the number sequences that you hear a lot of people agreeing on, like, oh my God, that was me too. 2019 for a lot of people, you know, that's 12. So, you know, pay attention to their year that they tell you, and I'll say a little bit something about, you know, the kind of people they're meeting in alignment too, and where they're at in their journey as well. So, that's a lot of Saturn and Pisces too, on creating challenges in those people's lives to, you know, really tap into their intuitive self, their emotional self, their Piscean energy, that deep hidden, you know, spiritual self, the Akashic records and things, right? Um and then it's also doing certain things to other people who have been walking around harboring secrets and stuff like that. We see a lot of conspiracy theory is finally getting their flowers because of Saturn and Pisces, you know, creating challenges for those people who have been, you know, illusionists, if you will, you know, the curtain being pulled back off the whiz, you know, that's a part of what's happening as well. And so you see, you know, a nice, you know, tale of the fall of an empire. And when we look at the planetary placements within the root chakra, you know, on the internal side, that's the social awareness. We have Eros there, which is love, Chariklo, which is like, you know, the grace and alignment with karma. Ooh, 111. Gang gang. You know, the grace, you know, how you give karma, how you give grace, you know. I do it by ignoring you. I do it by this. I do it by that. Well, in this realm, we do it by social detachment. And you see that with a lot of people. I'm cutting off somebody who no longer serve me. I'm cutting off people who don't support me. I'm cutting off people who do this. I'm cutting off people who do that. I'm removing people. I'm removing places. I'm removing things and ideas and titles and labels and then power over those labels. A lot of people saying, oh, this doesn't matter anymore. You got to come at me like that. It's that love. That's the Chariklo in Aquarius. Where's the karma at? Well, the karma is coming in social awareness and social detachment, social justice. That's what we focused on right now. You know, those who can't hang will be shunned. Everybody's, you know, transforming. You know, they have the people that they were with. Now they're migrating. You know, and right now we're doing it virtually. At some point, it's gonna, you know, it might stay virtually. I don't know, because we did create this new dimension here, this virtual dimension. We did. It could also, it is starting to happen in the physical. A lot of people starting to, you know, create communes and intentional communities and stuff like that. And so they're physically migrating and creating new things. And as we physically migrate, remember, we're a personification of firmament. That means that the firmament on that we are on is also moving, switching energies, changing tracks, changing polar energy, connecting in different ways. You know what I'm saying? So all that is aligning. Water is coming up. It's a great time. Hygeia is also here. Preventative measures. Hygeia is how you what kind of text or what kind of, you know, mindset you have to, you know, prevent things from happening for your health and wellness. And here's an Aquarian energy. Again, social energy. A lot of people are doing energy cleanses. I only want to be around people that do this and or like this because this makes me feel like this. And I'm now aware of my feeling attachment to my actual physical body, my physical health, right? So now we're in that space with that. So that's all in Aquarius energy. That's all in the energy of like how united we are with one collective, our social, you know, awareness and detachment to back and forth. You know, this is the connection with our, you know, feminine self. our spiritual self, because a lot of this has to do with our spiritual self. How people, you have, where your spirit came through the womb into Aquarius, into these bond, the social awareness connections with other people. And that's why I say we're more powerful, together. Like the strongest bond is the hydrogen, bonds. We are water. You know what I'm saying? So like, all that's in alignment. Now all that's going on inside. Now what's going on outside? Oh, also to remind you, the seventh house is in Aquarius. Well, seventh house is ruled by Aquarius right now too. So with the seventh house being in Aquarius, is, seventh house is associated with Libra energy. That's the Libra scales, the balance, the justice, and the fairness, and all those things. The whole point is find equilibrium. So that's what we're happening here. We're getting that social justice and awareness here with that seventh house over there too. Now over here in Capricorn, and remember what I have in the parentheses is in the Vedic chart, okay, and I would have y'all here forever. But while Saturn is in Pisces doing all of that on the thoughts or whatever, in our actual vortex, Saturn is in Aquarius, which is those actual experiences, the energy exchanges, and the discipline and order. We're actually forming in our social settings to go to the seventh house, which is that Libra house. So that's what's actually happening in our vortex, is Saturn in Aquarius. Okay. The challenges, the experiences, the quote unquote traumas that are helping us create a new discipline and order and a new sense of groundedness, right? A sense of authority. A lot of us are having different like physical things happen to us that's causing us to have, certain awarenesses, and even that's causing us to have different social spaces and, attachments and reattachments and stuff. So that's all Saturn and Aquarius. Now, on the Vedic chart, all these placements are in Capricorn that are in Aquarius. So you have love in Capricorn. So that's what, we're creating boundaries on how we give and receive love, what it is, this, that, and the third. And it's going towards the sixth house. So it's how we apply it in our health, wellness, daily routine. We have Eros here. Chariklo, the grace, we give. Hygeia also here, preventative measures. So all of that is going in our boundaries and our structure and power and stuff, depending on who's empowering you, or whoever you allow to have authority over your root chakra. Now what's going on in Capricorn energy here on the tropical chart, as far as our thoughts, is transformation. We're having transformation on who should be in authority, right? While all those things are going on in our vortex in Capricorn, we're having thoughtful transformations. And Pluto in the Vedic chart, so Pluto is currently creating transformations in our sacral chakra. All right, it's where we find joy, how we express joy, our sensual and sexuality. We see that in a lot of things. Pluto is heavy on the sex. To have and it's in the cardinal energy of Sagittarius, y'all. So this energy is not going to stop anytime soon. So there's a lot of stuff that you see online, internet. It's a lot of heavy sexual energy, and that's a lot of Pluto being the planet of extremities and sex inside of Sagittarius, which is associated with the sacral chakra, which is sensual, sexual energy and expression. So it's a level of transformation there. It's and then it's also transformations and removing secrets on the different sex cults and sex, rings and all that stuff like that, because, Pluto opens up secrets and occults and stuff like that. And Sagittarius deals with, the culty type energy too, and those type of, realms of things. The Tahuti tribes, if you will. But yeah, that's Pluto for you. So be mindful of that. Because Pluto's gonna be there for a little bit. And the vertex, the actual vertex itself, is in Capricorn. It's in a space of building boundaries and structure and order, and having a different sense of survival. So we changing the whole way we want to obtain our basic resources. We know I need shelter, water, food, and clothes. I'm learning how to make my own clothes. I'm learning how to build my own house. I'm learning how to obtain my own land and grow my own food. Like, people are doing those things. They're having a transformation in their root chakra and they're attracting it in their vertex, and they're really living in there, moving in it. And the Vedic chart, it's in Sagittarius energy, so it's a lot of that. Remember, Pluto is there too, so transformation energy in the vertex there as well. You're attracting things that bring you joy, your sensual pleasures and things like that, where your mind processes on boundaries and order. So if you created a new boundary or discipline for yourself, you may find yourself in different energy exchanges where it's being tested, right? And that's a lot to do with the vertex being in Sagittarius on the Vedic chart. At least, when we started this on November 9th, it was. And so now it should be in Capricorn by now, where the boundaries and things that you've created are being implemented. So like how well you went through the vertex being in Sagittarius lets you know how well you're about to do with the consequences, because Capricorn energy also deals with retribution. That's Babalao. Yeah, that's going to be the repercussions of things that's happening in your vertex now, of how well you did with the temptation of Sagittarius. So it's now, like, for example, I was supposed to work out every day. I fucked that up in my Capricorn. So now I'm dealing with the repercussions. Now I'm like just sucked out of the routine. My body is getting stiff again. Like, it's time for me to get that together, right? That shit not cool. Pholus is also here. So Pholus is like whatever asteroid. Pholus is an asteroid, and whatever other electromagnetic field is around, it just makes it like amplified, right? So right now it's near your vertex. So whatever is happening and attracting in your vertex, Pholus is like amplifying it. And it's like, damn, that is so extra. You ain't got to do all that. Like my phones keep falling everywhere, and it's like, damn, that is so extra. You really don't got to do that. Why are you falling around like that? Like now I got like a big ass black hole in the middle of my one phone, and my other phone got a big ass scratch in the middle through it too. Like, it's so annoying. I'm so irritated by that. But anyway, and so Pholus is also in the sacral chakra. So I know a lot of y'all been feeling super duper sexy, and that's fun. Because Pluto and Pholus are, about 9 degrees apart. Ooh, 9. Okay. And that's interesting. Little retribution there, and in the extremity way. So really pay attention to how you are being tested in that sacral chakra energy right there. That's crazy. Yeah, really stick to y'all guns. Interesting. The 6th house is here too. So the wellness is here. Again, stick to y'all guns. All right, let me work out, because that was for me. Girl, get the fuck up. You're right. I will. Anyway, so the sacral chakra is ruled by Jupiter. We talked about that. This is where your being is established. This is where, your senses, all your different senses of touch are satisfied. Pleasure seeking, your sexual energy. This is also where your addictions and obsessions can come if you're in balance with that Pisces energy, which we know is Mayat, your law, justice, and truth. And if we know Mayat is the segue to Oba scales in the heart chakra or whatever. So like when you if your Mayat is not in alignment or whatever, you can dive into addictions, you can dive into obsessions, you can become an abuser, right? You can also, because that Sagittarius energy will lead up to Aries, that fire to fire, and the water is like transformation realm. So that's where abusers flow can go. So check planetary placements for people that are into like murders and beating people's ass, because that's the flow of that. But it's like you're conscious, like the voice in your head, what's it saying to you? That you can't put a name or a face to that voice, but everybody got one. So Neptune is here. Neptune rules over Pisces. So Neptune in its home space is really dope. That's again coming back to the fact that a lot of people are having their waking life moments in waves around this time. I remember I told y'all 2012, right? Neptune entered Pisces in 2012. So for some of you guys who had your wave of awakening, you had it in alignment with that most likely with that placement. For them, some of you guys that's saying like, oh, 2008, that was when Pluto entered Capricorn. That was January 26th, 2008. Some of you guys say, oh, 2019. Well, that was when Uranus, which is the push for progressive change, entered Taurus, which was in March 2019. Chiron entered Aries in 2018. So it's just a matter, and those were literally the dates I said earlier, and I was not looking at this paper, but I'm like, those are literally the numbers I said earlier. That's funny. But those are, the waves, thus far that I've seen. In alignment with the awakening energy or whatever. And so Neptune and Pisces is definitely one of them. And that's a lot of people's, subconscious really coming out, my yacht really coming to the forefront. A lot of people are tapped into that realm to where they're like really digging into the culture and the history around it and uncovering different truths, because remember, Neptune deals with all things hidden and things underneath the horizon. You also see that happening with the firmament, with Neptune, with what is that, the Grand Canyon, and a lot of the underground cities coming out to play. The underground tunnels we've been talking about a lot lately, like hidden tunnels to transport goods, people, and things like that. And all of that coming out, that's all hidden things, people's hidden agendas coming out. People talking about them more, we see them more, all of those things. That's Neptune and Pisces. And Saturn is right there. Remember, Saturn is at a 0 degree right now, so it's at an easy street. We're creating those challenges in those realms, uncovering those secrets, and balancing those hearts of Maya. Because remember, Saturn is Babylao. That's the Orisha of retribution. He walk around with those Oba scales, and he's in Maya right now. He's over there weighing hearts in alignment with this law. And if it's not in alignment, your shit coming out easy. It's coming out. He got the flashlight. You're not messing with Bible out, brother. My man, they got nothing to lose neither. He don't give a fuck. And it's happening a lot in our social awareness and our justice realm, because like I told y'all before, on the Vedic scale and our vibration, Saturn is in Aquarius with it. Neptune is in Pisces on the Vedic too. So and it's in the cardinal energy. So, we just getting started, you know what I mean? And it's still in retrograde. So we're about to go. So by the time we get to December 1st, we'll be back at a 0 degree. And remember, I told y'all 0 degree is easy street. This is why I'm telling y'all we about to open up, like Lilith portal is open December 1st. All right. Remember, first timestamp. Neptune is at 0 degrees. That's a direct portal. We know Neptune is the communication line to the deep, hidden energy, the unconscious, subconscious, the ultimate, So that's sign number 1. All right. Keep that in your, write that down, star that, stamp that, because as I talk more, it's like Blue's Clues. Karma is also here. Karma is an asteroid, pretty self-explanatory, the energy karma going to bring. And it is very much in alignment with Babylao, the energy of retribution. And Neptune sitting in his home space, opening up that portal. And that portal is going to be very much opened up December 1st. So keep your eyes open for some uncovering of some things happening. It's very fun to watch this empire do what it's doing. That Pluto, where it's at. I'll talk about it all the time, but the last time was the Revolutionary War, y'all. Oh, make sure y'all ready. Get ready. I told y'all we playing chess. Chess isn't move for move. You're supposed to be thinking moves ahead. You're supposed to already know what moves the other person's supposed to make too. That means you already knew what was going to happen after you started getting them freedom papers. You already knew that their move was coming. So what you finna do? You feel me? All right, so now in the energy exchange, and that Sagittarius energy is the psyche. So now listen, I know y'all noticed your ability to manifest, like y'all be thinking stuff and it be like, droop, droop, droop. that's that. It's the connection to who the oracle sage wisdom. That's the cloud. You know what I mean? We going up there. You think it is happening. Be mindful of y'all thoughts. The gut controls the mind. Right now, the psyche is in Scorpio on the Vedic chart, right? Be mindful what you're feeding your guts, especially this season. We're supposed to be fasting, and it's okay. I feel it. I've been doing it automatically because you know what happened? On my birthday, and even before that, I asked the universe to align me with the netters, like just align me and align my footsteps, even if I'm not in order myself. Like, please. And so ever since then, like even if I do want to eat, like the way the events will occur in my space is like, dang girl, you can't even eat until you do XYZ, and by then it's gonna be this time o'clock. And it's like, yeah, you fasted. So I've been playing like that anyway. And I will admit the first couple days I complained, and then I remembered. Nah, remember you asked for this. You said you wanted to be in alignment with the nerves, no matter what, even if, whatever you said you needed support, you needed help. I got you. I'm making events occur in your space to where you got the support. And it's like I did. You're right, I did. So here I am. And we're gonna see what happened on the other side of this. So now I'm, interpreting things with different kind of energy, attitude. I still get hangry, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Um, now it's just like I have been moving slower, but I am giving myself grace in that space because it is a lot slower than what I would have done. It's still room for improvement, but my lifestyle has to change first, and I'm aware of that. So grace on that. Anyway, the fifth house is also here in Sagittarius energy. The fifth house is associated with Leo energy. That's the heart. That's the vortex. So again, coming back to the fact that the psyche, that manifestation thing, that's happening here, right? That's happening here. Again, watch what you put in your gut. The gut controls the mind. The mind is manifesting right now. The mind is also uploading and downloading right now. So be mindful what you put in your gut, because I'm speaking on what you upload and download in this realm. Now we get into the solar plexus chakra. And Mars. I love my 19s. Y'all know I love my 19s. Here for it. So Mars rolls over the solar plexus chakra. This is where you feel your courage and confidence, your energy. This is the gut that I keep talking about that controls the mind, right? Your solar plexus. This is the fire, that burns aside, that gets big. You control your gut, believing, trust your gut, Um, what does this say? I had a gut feeling. I should have trusted my gut or whatever. Uh those quotes. That's this. But yeah, right now Mars is in Scorpio energy. And I told y'all Mars just entered Scorpio energy on the draconic chart today. So yay. And so with that being said, we have transformations happening in our solar plexus chakra. We have transformations in how we empower ourselves, how we're expressing ourselves in our realms of self-esteem. Some of y'all is going high, some of y'all is going low, some of y'all is in between. All those different realms of things. And it's in the third house. So this energy is being directed towards your community. Are you stepping in your power in your community? I told y'all about that in 2022. I was like, not 2022, but 2020 as well. Be mindful, the virtual energy is great. However, it's going to call for you to actually go in your physical neighborhood and make changes, because it's only but so long you could be staring down at your phone in a room full of people. People, a room full of people start looking at you like, what's up? Like, who are you? What is going on? What are you doing? Da-da-da. And it's time to show and tell. It's time to show and tell. It's not just gonna be a virtual thing. You really gotta go into these physical places and do work. You can only hide for so long, and if you keep trying to hide, what's going to happen is, because you're making certain moves, the chess moves that's going to happen in your realm is people going to come and pull you out into the field. Like, oh, you don't want to come out on your own, but something's going. And Scorpio is extreme, and I just told you Follis is over there, so please listen to me. Y'all don't want that sauce. It's extreme out here. It's people getting pulled out their houses. It's people getting shot in their backyards. Scorpio deals with death too. It's people getting people getting shot. Like, you don't want to come out. I'm gonna pull you out. You gonna we about to find you. You about to go to jail. I'm finna pull you out. You can't sit in your space by yourself. So now this is the part where it's like, who do you want to be in charge of your solar plexus? Do you want to be in charge, or do you want somebody else in charge? Make moves accordingly. Do your thug dizzle. So Mars is about to be in Scorpio all across the board. However, Mars is going to be entering Sagittarius too, and we'll get into that momentarily. But for the next couple days, Mars is in Scorpio all across the board, and that's really fucking fly. So in this space and time, transformations to y'all solar plexus, focus on y'all solar plexus. Overstand that there is a big transformation happening with the sun around us as well, and lots of empowerment. We also putting a spotlight on some things, some hidden things. We talked about that in Pisces energy already, but it's directing towards our community, our family, the people you grew up with and stuff. Now, in the internal side, in our gut and our fire, we got Chiron, so working on our wounds in this realm still. I hope you guys are seeking the transformations that you need. Chiron is going to be in Aries until 2026, so good for like 3 more years, 2 more years. October 19th. Y'all know I love my 19s. That's when Chiron will be entering Taurus energy, and we do the retrogrades and things, so it'll probably be bouncing back and forth between Aries and Taurus for a little bit. But I really look forward to Chiron entering Taurus, and I say that because a lot of people's wounds are in their heart chakras, and to have, that transmutation is needed for a lot of souls that's out here right now. But I understand that this part is definitely needed right now. You always have the fire before things grow back, and we know Venus energy is associated with flowers and beauty and blooming and springtime. Aries is the initiator, springtime, 0 degrees, 0 latitude on a draconic, on a lunar scale, and the solar scale. So everything rises and falls on Ogun. The gut controls the mind, and everything starts with the thought. Remember that. The fire starts it all. So I get it. I get the order of things. I respect it. Aries is also here with that divine feminine energy. The true note is here. We know that's the direction that we're moving towards. And we talked about how that is that's locked in with the draconic chart as well, and that's how we're seeing well, yeah, in our Vedic chart, we're seeing a more closeness of the Vedic chart to the draconic. Like right now, the Vedic and draconic chart are pretty much mirroring each other. They're like definitely in conjunction of each other. The Vedic and draconic chart, and we know the draconic chart is the soul chart. That's the soul. That's the, where what's really going on. Where in the Vedic chart is what we're attracting because of what's really going on. So more spiritual experiences. That's where we're at. Less mental indoctrinated experiences. We're doing away with the public school system. We're doing away with the college school system. We're doing away with all those things, and we're coming back into soul realm. Okay, so that's what's happening here. Embrace it. Embrace it, no matter what it looks like. You don't get to control the how. We just know what's happening and what's going to happen. All right, peace. So Scorpio is a transformational realm. What's happening in the energy exchanges on the water realm? We know we all water out here, cuz. And so what's happening in this enforcement space is on Maya, which is the divine feminine energy. And Ceres, which is like agriculture energy. That's like nurturing energy as well. It's kind of like another Virgo, if you will, like harvesting and stuff like that. So again, more energy directed towards like Scorpio type experiences. Excuse me. Scorpio type experiences, transformations, more walking in y'all power, more transformations happening in your space. The vortex has opened, which is the veil, if you will, between the physical and non-physical realm. Took a lot of our good leaders because they had to go on the other side. They don't need their body anymore for the next thing that they have to do. So we respect that because we know at some point in time we all gonna have to go over there and do our part over there too. So it's like gracias for going over there before us and paving another way, because you've already paved the way here for us, and now you're about to go over there and pave another way for us. You feel me? So it's just like, we give thanks, Ashe. That's all Scorpio energy, and Mars is also here. Spoke on that. The sun is also here. We're having transformational experiences. We're having more experiences that are challenging us to step into our power, to be fearless, to enforce the boundaries that we created in our Capricorn from other experiences. Respectfully. But we're gonna pull into this. Oh, Almea is association. I was looking for that page because I know it's feminine energy, but I believe that's more so the other one that's sitting next to Maki Maki, which we'll get into in a minute. I can't think of the name of her off the top of my head. But these are the deities and the Pacific Islands. So Almea is associated with the love of the natural world and the natural process. And so like the flow of nature and the love associated with nature is in transformation. And also moving in its power too. And we definitely do see Mother doing her thing. Like the storms and things like that. I know peace to the people being super duper affected. Ashe. At the same token, like these things have to happen. I know that we get upset and we say, oh, y'all shouldn't be burning down this, y'all shouldn't be burning down that, y'all shouldn't be doing this, y'all shouldn't be doing that. But overstaying the bigger picture. Everybody is a reflection of some part of the whole, right? And I was talking about this earlier at my job, and I'm like downloading to y'all a little bit as I expand on it. But in the Bible, it said like it's going to be chariots that come and fire and all that stuff like that. However, that was the language that they had at that place and time. We have airplanes now that have bombs and shit. And we got guns. We got gang, lasers, or whatever. That was very well much so a chariot. You know what I'm saying? And you got these people coming back in Christ consciousness. You got the disciples coming back. You have these different tribes showing up at different points on this plane or whatever, and creating a connection amongst each other. That rise is occurring. You know what I'm saying? And so like revelation's been happening. It's just not looking like that or whatever. It's looking like this. And when we look at each other and know that everyone is a reflection of God, even that individual that's plotting on killing us, even that individual that's signing off the Monsanto GMO things, even the individuals that are in favor of depopulation, all these individuals that are doing these nasty things, they also are a part of the whole. And when you have that level of understanding, you got to know that everybody plays a part. The world is sick right now, and in order for the world to get better, it got to get a little sicker. And so these people are the sicker people. And they have the energy that they have. They have the placements that they have. They have the experiences that they have. They have the genetic DNA code that gives them the experiences and the electromagnetic energy and connection that they have to do what they're doing, to create the environment that they're creating, to create so that you can exist, so that you can do what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be you needing to be here, your coding to even need to exist, if this energy wasn't here doing what it's doing. Aries, fire inside the internal, begins before the water, the Scorpio, transformation and rebirth. Right? And that's before we get to Venus, the heart chakra, where the beauty blooms. But the fire has to happen first. The fire has to happen first, y'all. So, just having that level of awareness, have that level of appreciation for the cycle of things. Because Scorpio is the 8. 8 is the infinity symbol. That's high highs and low lows. And it's a circle. It's a cycle, right? It's a cycle. It's not as quick as a circle. You got 2 dips to go through, but it's still a cycle, that you're going through. You're still going to spin the block back around. You know what I'm saying? So it's high, low, lows, as above, so below, and then you find that homeostasis in between, which is the goal for Scorpio and Aries, is to find that homeostasis in between, and, that's what you do. That's what you do. I pretty much talked about Mercury without talking about Mercury, because Mercury deals with patterns. Mercury also deals with your throat chakra and your invocation. You being invoked to have these experiences that's going to cause you to stand up and tap into your courageousness and all these things that you have to do and stuff like that. The patterns, where's your moral and ethical code that's motivating you? Because Mars is also your motivator. Like, where's your what's your motivation? What in your moral ethical code is motivating you and stuff like that. Now, Almaya, nature is in Libra, Ceres is in Libra, Mars is in Libra, and the sun is in Libra on the Vedic scale, in the vibration realm. Now, I believe I told y'all the sun just entered, the sun will be entering Scorpio tomorrow or now. It's 11:57. So again, I told y'all the draconic and the Vedic scale kind of align. I know November 17th, I believe that's when the 18th. The 18th is when the sun and Mars enter Scorpio on the Vedic scale. So we got a couple more days of Libra sun. The 18th is the magic number with the Vedic transitions. But yeah, that's what's happening. Scorpio is bringing transformations to our health, wellness, and daily routine, more empowerment to it. It depends on who you decide to get power over it. And then by December 1st, Mercury is going to be in Sagittarius energy. So it's going to be some pleasure in that daily routine. We're going to have fun here. All right, so now we get into the heart chakra. This is Venus. Venus is in Libra. We started on at a 0 degree. This was on the 9th, remember? So Venus was zooming through that finding balance and things like that in the second house. Our home and family, our nurturing maternal space, our soul, all that fun stuff. And that was really nice. We were analyzing it and having a great time. Now by December 1st, Venus is going to be in mutable Libra. Okay, we're going to be at a 25 degree. So mutable Libra here in the second house. We're still applying it to our, the second house is the Taurus house. So we're applying it to our house of possessions. I don't know what I said here. I think I said the moon house. I don't know. I was tripping. Anyway, this is the Taurus house. This is the house of possessions, self-esteem and stuff. So balance here. Watch your contracts here in the second house with business contracts here. Watch what you sign. Pay attention to the ones that you already have, analyze them, learn more about them. Virgo energy, for those of you guys learning how to nationalize yourself, this is the sign right here. This window is open right here. These next couple weeks is definitely the time to really tap into it and do it. This is open for you. And it's like, on December 1st on the Vedic scale, what you've been thinking about here, all you've been learning and gathering is going to start applying in your vortex. Okay? So all of December is going to be you reaping what you thought. Now, for me, I see legal energy here. I see legal, the contracts, bonds, y'all know what I'm talking about. And then I also see interpersonal relationships, romantic relationships and things. And then by December 1st, are we picking out matching pajamas or not? And so, on the internal side of Taurus, on the feminine side, you have Uranus giving you that progressive energy. And of course, it's still in Taurus. It's going to be in Taurus till, I believe, 2024. Hold on. We talked about this. Well, we said that it entered in Taurus in 2019, which was a couple of weeks before we went on the lockdown and they wouldn't let us out. Uranus, 2026. April 26, 26. That's my mama's birthday. But April 26, 26 is when Uranus will be entering Gemini energy. That'll be interesting. Progressive energy and how we communicate. I predicted back in 2020 that when Uranus enters Gemini energy, that's when we're really going to get into embracing our telepathy, whether you're being telepathic through technology and the microchips and stuff like that, or you're being telepathic off tapping into your spiritual side. It's always been a yin and yang between man-made and natural. And I believe that that's never going to disappear. It's always going to be that intertwining of both. And it's like, instead of going to war with one another, we have to just learn how to accept each other's existence. It doesn't have to be like, oh, you over there, you can't exist because I need you to do this. Like, there are some people out here that are willing to, work 80 hours a week happily to afford things. And some of us are like, no, fuck that. So, deal with that, whatever. All right. So, yeah, I said Uranus, telepathy, transportation. It's going to be out of this world. We in the air hose. You ready? I'm ready. Amtrak is already going from Florida to what? Was it Florida to Cali? Florida to Washington? Florida to the West Coast is where Amtrak is already going. We about to have them bullet trains, about to learn how to make sure your body can like transport that fast and stuff like that. Y'all don't be over there getting sick and shit. All that fun stuff. We gonna be out here because Gemini just going Uranus Gemini gonna make everything closer. The world gonna get smaller and smaller for us there because everybody gonna feel like it already is with virtual reality. Like everybody is learning each other over so many different places in different parts of the world, is making the world in your mind seem smaller and smaller, more and more condensed because of how expanded your algorithm is and how accessible those different places now seem because of the virtual world. But at the same token, like I said, mindset is in alignment with tropical chart, and that's moving further and further away from your vortex and your actual experiences and what's going on in the physical world. And that's a big part of why, because of virtual reality. The virtual reality is now the new indoctrination, and the virtual reality, the mindset of thing has absolutely nothing to do with what's happening in the physical world for the most part. When you turn off these screens and you stop scrolling and you stop reading the headlines and shit and you just go outside in the world, what about anything you just experienced during those scrolling times is being applicable to your current experience? Who's in control right now? Like, be present, take a deep breath, and let's be fucking for real. You know what I mean? And that's why the tropical and the vertex is so far apart, and vertex is getting closer to the spirit because the spirit is like, what the fuck are y'all doing? We don't give a fuck about this shit. We don't care about nothing y'all fucking doing. And as the vertex gets more closer to the spiritual realm, the children that we're having is their charts are in this alignment. This is their natal chart. It's going to be very, very difficult to place them in the tropical chart. At some point in time, we're not even going to acknowledge the tropical chart because the kind of children we're going to have are going to be so far apart of it. They're going to be more so in tune with Vedic and they're draconic, you know. However, it's still important to know the tropical because you never know. Some kids might succumb to the agreements after that start amending their original agreements. You know what I'm saying? So still be aware of all the charts for that reason, because the people that are playing chess with us are using that chart. That is their chart as well. So when we learn the charts that they're using in alignment with their creations, then we know how to play what charts work best for us, and we can predict their moves based upon what charts they've been using. That's how you play. I love the art of war. I love to play the game, and I love to think like the villain, even on different like crazy levels. Because if I can think it, that means that somebody else is thinking it, and that means that somebody else is doing it. That's how I think. Because ain't no way I'm over here thinking it for no reason. There's billions of people in the world, and I had this thought. And you trying to tell me there ain't nobody out here doing it right now? Yeah, fuck out of here. It's too much going on right now in this very second. Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, Jupiter's also over here. This is generosity, optimism. This is sacral chakra. That's in alignment with Taurus energy. And Uranus as well. New beginnings to Jupiter, new beginnings to our sacral chakra. We're finding new things to find joy in. We're experiencing progressive energy, finding new beginnings and, forces that cause us to change direction. We're no longer changing direction because of different things we've been indoctrinated with, like, oh, money, all this, all that. Like, no. I'll change direction because I want to, because of XYZ, ZYX. And then remember, the true node is also in Aries. So a lot of us are finding that level of fixation on the fact that like the spiritual path right now is towards new beginnings anyway. So Uranus is, influencing that in our vortex. While our mindset is having a new mindset on Taurus energy, like, what's beautiful, what's our self-esteem measured up to, what do we find valuable, what do we prioritize, who are we forgiving and why, and what does forgiveness look like there, um what does wealth look like, what businesses should be, still existing and what shouldn't, etc., different, revamps and stuff. That's all that progressive Uranus, is imposing upon Taurus energy. And Jupiter is giving the wisdom. A lot of people are getting their wisdom from self, from their own Taurian space or whatever, to apply, Uranus energy. You know what I'm saying? Midheaven is also here, so tapping into this energy is bringing people zest. So people who are choosing to follow their heart and allow that to, create, things, they're actually moving more successfully. Authenticity is key here, because if you're moving with a lot of layers on top of this, it's going to separate you from Jupiter, and Jupiter is in alignment with fortune as well. So I ain't trying to be aligned. I ain't trying to be misaligned with Jupiter. You hear me? And then Uranus is a very strong planet. Uranus will beat the shit out of you. You go ahead and try to fall against Uranus if you want to. And a lot of people are. A lot of people are fighting Uranus. So what's happening is they're having a hard time maintaining their possessions that they are idolizing and worshiping. You're having a hard time keeping track of it. You're having a hard time keeping it, to a level of equilibrium that you would like for it to be. Taurian energy is nice and routine, nice and steady, slow and steady, right? And a lot of things are happening around you quick, fast, force. Taurus don't like to be moved like that. Taurus like the trend. What? Like, I move at my own speed on my own time. You can't, and that's if I want to move. Uranus don't give a fuck about that. Okay, so you move against Uranus trying to create progressive change in those Taurus if you want to, and think you stronger than that. You're gonna look crazy. Nah, it's like somebody standing in front of a monsoon and doing this, thinking it's gonna work. Like, stop it. Okay. I hope it does work. That'd be fly, but okay. Now, what's happening on the external side as a collective is Maki is here. Maki is like associated with Leo energy to an extent. This is another Pacific Islander deity. It's like creating reality here. So, a lot of our reality is located on the balance. That's based on the balance second house here. We said it was Taurus energy. It's basically reiterating what I just said with Uranus and Jupiter and midheaven being here. You go ahead and not follow this energy if you want to. You go ahead and try to think that you're going to keep like certain things and materials and all this stuff like that, and keep the same mindset and be fixed here, knowing that Uranus and Jupiter is pulling in, Aries energy into your vortex while it's pulling Taurus energy into your mind. You move against that, you're going to be losing a lot of things in your reality. It's a lot of imbalance here. Libra is going to show the imbalances. Things are going to fall apart. You're going to drop some balls. South node is here. So it's going to be hard to tie that South node of balance energy up here with the new beginnings that Jupiter and Uranus is going to bring if you're fighting against it. You know what I mean? It's going to be hard for you to find your tribe if you're not moving in the nodes. These energies are also in Virgo. Again, harvesting, manifesting here too. Again, that brings back to the fact that this stuff is happening in your vortex. How balanced are you? Palace is the genius qualities that you overlook. So some of you guys think that you can't even find balance. There is no balance. There is no justice. There is no fairness. There is none of these things, and because you're overlooking that ability, and especially in the third house was community communication. A lot of people are doing the fear mongering in their throat chakra, invoking gloom and doom and especially the news. The news definitely uses this Libra and harnesses on this Libra and Palace. If you're harnessing on it in a gloom and doom way too, what's happening in your vortex is palaces and Libra in your vortex too. So you're going to start experiencing the genius qualities that you're overlooking, that you're not embracing. Sappho is the captivative energy. This is like the poetic self. This is neutrality, intimacy, and kindness, emotions and desires, sensitivity, sexuality, all that fun stuff. So Sappho here in Libra is finding a balance there too. And on December 1st, it's going to be at a 0 degree. So another stamp. So we had what was the first stamp we had? We had I believe it was in Sagittarius. Boom boom. Let's go back. Yeah, it was Neptune. Neptune and Pisces. That was the first stamp on December 1st. The portal is open. Then I think I saw a 0 here too. Yeah, Aries. Aries and Aries, the divine primordial woman. Boom. Who's the divine primordial woman? Lilith. Thank you. Boom. That's clue number 2. Then we have Palace, the genius qualities that we overlook. If you tap into the primordial goddess, the original mother, you know, that energy, you will oh, I just had a crazy download. So you know the story of Lilith, you know, she told Adam that we equal, and Adam was like, nah, fuck that. And after a while, Lilith was like, all right, I'm out. And then Adam sent like 2, 3 angels after her, and she was like, nah, fuck that. And so then God punished her, and she kept having miscarriages in the Red Sea. So now, you know, sea is red. Now, thinking about that, like marine law, yeah, maritime law or whatever, and how we be on water law and stuff, and they calling us dead. Is that because we the children of Lilith? Because we do be on demon time, like with the fire and the solar plexus, and when the gut controls the mind, and the gut can be like on demon time. I know all of y'all. Well, I got a lot of Virgo placements, so I got a lot. I can get real dark. I can get real dark out here. The gut can get real dark. That hangry shit be wild sometimes when it comes to my thoughts. But yeah, I don't know I don't know if y'all be having the same kind of experience, but like yeah, my gut will go crazy. But I don't know. That was a download I had. Like we the children of Lilith. So like we was born in the waters. The you know she had all the miscarriages. She was having like hundreds of them. You know, I don't know. That was random. You can expound on that how you like. But anyway, so boom, Neptune and Pisces. Then we got Aries and Aries. Now we got Palace and Libra. So the genius qualities that we overlooking, we always overlook Lilith. We always overlook our primordial selves as well. In the second house, Virgo. So we got to analyze. We got to go into the black hole here in our house of possession, self-esteem, our vertex, our vortex, what we've been attracting, right? Now we get into our throat chakra, what we invoking. So Mercury rules over the throat chakra. Transformations to our throat chakra is happening on the Vedic chart. Mercury is in Scorpio energy as well. It's also in Scorpio energy on the Draconic chart. So we have Mercury and Scorpio through and through. Major transformation, stepping into your power, solar plexus energy. Speaking on gossip and uncovering secrets and a lot of that little things going back and forth and different tribes and cults being manifested into the present, and all this happening to the fourth house. The fourth house is the Cancer house, home, nurturing. Now we're invoking souls because you know the fourth house deals with Cancer. That's the moon. The moon is the what? That's the soul. It rolls over the third eye. The eyes are the windows to the soul. So now we speaking the souls into existence. We got this. All right. December 1st. Mercury will be at 29 degrees. 29 degrees is static. 29 degrees Sagittarius because that's static. It'll be a static day for invocation, so be careful when you invoke in this when you do your invocations with that 29 degrees. If you in your mind, it's like this pretty much says that your mind, your indoctrination, and those that are in that tropical chart, those that still live and abide by the tropical chart mindset and the way of life of the tropical chart, they will be the static. They will be the resistance. That's the word that was the word I was looking for, and I couldn't find it. That's why I kept saying the other word over and over again. They will be the resistance, okay? And it could either be your own thoughts or the thoughts of others. So be mindful who you share your shit with, because some people are coming in with their energy, and it's gonna fuck up yours. Don't apply that to your stuff. So that's a static day. And also might be a difficult day to step into your habitual self, your routine. Because of that sacral chakra energy might be getting in the way, might be a little bit of tug of war there. Be mindful, be open, be vulnerable if you need, because this also is a space where you can still invoke what you need, Aries is in Aries. New beginnings here. Mercury on the Vedic scale, like in our, vertex, by December 1st will be in the cardinal Sagittarius energy. So if you're not stuck in your head, if you're not stuck in your mindset, you could definitely, be tapped into, your vertex at a 5 humanitarian energy. That's a great vibe. So in the inside of your throat chakra, you have Gemini energy here. Gemini energy, we talked about Gemini energy heavily. We have Sedna here. This is the spiritual, energy of us as a collective. And Sedna had been in Taurus for, since the 1920s. I believe it was 1925 up until like a couple months ago. So the fact that Sedna is in Gemini right now is a big deal. So our spiritual realm is coming more towards in our community, our communication. We're starting to travel to the soul tribe now. So it's a good time here. We are in Taurus on the tropical and on the Vedic scale. So we're starting to materialize. We're starting to materialize, the community that we want in our space. We're starting to materialize the different thoughts we have. So, be focused here, because you don't want to attract a bunch of stuff at once. It sounds like a good idea, and then you experience the role strain, and it's not. So on the masculine side, you're dealing with Virgo energy. That's when we get into the harvest and the manifesting, the actual manifest. And Lilith is here. Hey. So on the 9th, we started with Lilith at 405 in the first house of Leo. So we're harvesting with Lilith in the thoughts, if you're in the tropical side of things with Lilith. We're harvesting that primordial goddess. We're bringing her into space. Let me tell you, it's going to be more Liliths being born. So if we're going to harvest and harness Lilith, we have to be open and willing to accept the Liliths that are already here and being born. We have to support them because we asked for them. And they don't look like Muslim NOI women. They don't look like good listeners. They don't look like homemakers. They don't look like Stedford wives. They don't act like them. They don't carry themselves like them. Lilith is the primordial goddess. She don't follow no social indoctrinations given to you by religion and social, constructs. Lilith don't give a fuck about that. She older than all that shit. Lilith is a sexual, sensual being. Lilith is a mother. Lilith will have babies by 20 different men because she wanted to. Because she saw something in every 20 of those men and knew that they needed to be procreated with. You get what I'm saying? So when you're in the presence of a Lilith, you got to respect the fact that you summoned her. And she's here. We summoned these Liliths and then we're getting mad that they're here because they don't look or act wholesome. And that's wild, bro, because that's not, Lilith is not there. You should have asked for Eve. Eve is wholesome. That's what you should have asked for. So on the first, on the Vedic scale, Lilith will be at 1221. And that's why I love it. It'll be at 1221 in the 12th house. So we're on the 3 and 3. 3 and 3 comes into 6. Then we're in the 12th house. 6 and 12 comes into 9. So we got the whole complete retribution here. This is the portal. This is the numerology portal to Lilith. All right. December 1st is the primordial goddess day. I'm telling y'all better watch out. Y'all better watch these women on these, everybody know the top women that everybody watching on the internet right now. Those are the Liliths. Those are the Liliths. They, some of them, not all of them, but they the ones that got to make, those are the ones that were sent to stand on a square in Hollywood. Those are the chess pieces that went to go stand in a square in Hollywood. So they're playing chess as a chess piece. So it's like we're so infinite. You know how cells have organelles that have cells that have organelles, where you're a chess piece playing chess with chess pieces that are playing chess, with chess pieces that are playing with chess. So you have to have that level of mindset. So those are chess pieces playing chess over there in Hollywood. And they can look however they look and whatever backstory, conspiracy backstories everybody coming up with. It doesn't change the fact that they're Liliths. And they're doing this is exactly what it is. It is what it is. Abunchi is also here, bringing abundance to the harvest. Juno is also here. Juno is Hera. It's what we need in a bond in order to stay in it. A lot of us are manifesting our partners, manifesting our tribes, manifesting the things that we need in our contracts and our bonds and our relationships to want to be in them, to feel good about them. The moon is also here, giving us the nurturing space. Now on December 1st, and mind you, this is all happening at midnight. I do these spaces at midnight, so 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. At 12 a.m., the moon will be at 0 degrees Cancer. Another portal to the third eye. The moon will be in the third eye place in the 11th house. The 11th house is the Aquarius house. That's the social awareness and justice. That means that the collective needs to come together. You could come, and then 11th house is ruled by Gemini. More community on top of that. Community on top of community. It's coming together, opening up that portal. More Lilith. This is a whole thing. This is a beautiful time for a formation of a cult. Let that be 12-1. 12-1. 2-1-7 comes together, makes 10. That's a day of 10. Come back into 1. That's completion. December 1st it's going to be a crazy day. Pay attention. Pay attention. Then we get into the third eye. Third eye is ruled by Heru and the moon. All set. The sun is in, Scorpio all across the board right now. We love it here. So transformational experiences, solar plexus chakra experiences, who's in power, who's in control. Watch those that are scrambling for authority because they finna try to do some nut shit. Play chess, be smart. And your experiences, I'm telling you, look out. The moon, the nurturing space, our souls, windows. We start off in Virgo, we end up in Cancer. We start off in Harvest, we end up in our third eye. From invocation to spirit. And that's a good time. We got heavy into the moon already when we spoke on the last energy, when we spoke on Virgo. So we don't even got to go there. You already know Lilith is open on December 1st at midnight. Y'all should get together with y'all friends and do something about it. Cancer on the feminine side is Yamoja. We got Vesta here. This literally was just this is the whole theme of this. Y'all coming together. Vesta is in the 11th house of Gemini. It's in the social house of Gemini. There's passion here to bring nurturing space. 7/21, 10. Didn't I just say December 1st is 10? Your soul is going to want to do this. If you take a nap, I promise you're going to wake up at a crazy hour. If you rest, you're gonna wake up at a crazy part because your soul wants this, is craving this, is saying, hey, this has to happen. Let's go. On the Leo side, we rising in Leo. We're rising in Leo right now. Ascendant Leo is our appearance, our overall appearance, moving towards the riches, moving towards, love, our inner child, a lot of inner child work. A lot of us are, as a collective are going back to our childlike self or whatever. And, who we wanted to be when we were a child, that's who we're being now. We're walking through the world with another level of wonderlust that we had once upon a time, right? And so that's it for the chakra pattern, if you will. It is now 2:12. Y'all know that the crown chakra is not associated with any physical body, as this is where we get into the Fibonacci and we come out into the non-physical realm, into the upper eons that I showed y'all earlier. All right. So now we can get into, I guess the things. So November 8th, we're in Wanting right now. That's when Venus entered Libra zodiac and Sappho entered the Libra constellation. That was November 8th. If y'all want to go back and look at that date, that was 287 come together, make 917, and that's 8. So transformations on, Venus Sappho on that day. November 9th, that was when the moon entered Libra. The moon and Venus were actually at minimal angle when on that day as well. So you felt that vibration between your soul and your vortex. Mercury was sextile Pluto, so now you had your habits and stuff, being in alignment and making segue for transformations of Pluto on your boundaries and stuff. And that around that time probably when you started making like, oh, I want to do this on my daily routine. Oh, I want to add this. Oh, whatever. Venus entered Libra zodiac on that day, on November 9th as well. So now not only I got Venus entering Libra on 2 days. I was tripping. November 9th. Now November 10th, we're still in Wanting. The moon is still in Libra. We were dealing with Comet Lemon C 2023 being at max brightness and the smallest distance to the Earth. So we had that ancestral celestial energy very close to us that day on the 10th, 11/10/7. The Jupiter's moon Europa, that's what I was telling y'all about earlier. We were able to view that. Mercury was square Saturn, so you made plans the day before when Mercury was sextile Pluto, like, oh, I'm gonna make these transformations, and then you got challenged immediately the day after, like, oh yeah, how bad you want those transformations. November 11th on 11/11, still in Wanting crescent moon. We're in Libra, still with it on the Libra scales. Libra deals with 2 as well, balance there. So 11/11 with a 2 moon is really dope. The moon entered Scorpio, so we went from the 2 to transformations on the 8, which still kind of is 2 because it's 2 circles coming together, like the cycle. And that happened at 6:39 p.m. The moon was earlier that day, though, like around midnight-ish, the moon was still in Virgo constellation. So even though it entered Scorpio zodiac, it was still in Libra constellation. So we still in our vortex had that 2 energy on 11/11, y'all. So the moon and Spica were in conjunction that morning. Spica is a star in the Virgo constellation. It's the brightest star in the Virgo constellation. It's giving off the energy of harvest and manifesting. Mercury and Teshuvah were in conjunction by that evening. Oh no. I said it out loud, Mercury, but in my mind I said moon. But yeah, the moon and Teshuvah were in conjunction. So your daily routine and stuff in alignment with that Scorpio star that was creating, a little resistance in your space. November 12th, 11/12. Now we're at a 1% Wanting crescent moon. We're in the Scorpio energy with it. So transformations here to the 3rd house. Mercury and Graphias are minimal angle. We're still in those Scorpio stars of Saturn and Mars, which bring, a lot of resistance and fire, renewal and stuff to our space. The moon and Zubin El Janubi were in minimal angle, which is Libra, Scorpio scale stars. Northern Taurus reached maximum activity, which is a meteor shower. They were at 5 an hour, and then Ceres entered Scorpio constellation that day. That was the nurturing energy, nurturing self, all about food too. So transformations happening to all my farmers out there. You guys, that was the point in time for that. November 13th is when we started the day off in the new moon. We were in the 0% Wanting crescent moon. So this new moon we experienced was a cleansing new moon. Cleansing new moon in the realms of Scorpio energy, transformations in the 4th house of home and family, as well as the soul, transformations in the soul. The veil was very open during the new moon. 11/13, that's 4, the stability, the cornerstone. A lot of people's cornerstones went through the veil. The new moon rose at 4:28, which is cool because I was born at 4:18, making it about me. The moon and Mars were at minimal angle that day. So, motivation, gut controls the mind. Remember, the moon rules the 3rd eye. So we had that connection between the gut and the 3rd eye that day. Uranus was the smallest distance of the Earth, so heavy progressive pushes for people that day. For those who thought they was gonna fight against Uranus, the 13th was not a good day for y'all. We had another comet come to bring us some ancestral energy, 7:48 that morning. Uranus was in opposition with the sun, so Uranus was sneaking people. Well, actually, Uranus wasn't sneaking people. Uranus was on the spotlight. So a lot of y'all challenges on the 13th was like, yeah, that day was heavy, and you started your day with that because that happened at 11:57 in the morning. Jesus Christ. The west side crater Grimaldi of the moon was tipped into view, and then Mercury was square Lilith. So our daily routine and stuff like that wasn't really feeling the primordial goddess that day. It was more so like prim and proper. I gotta, things, and that's probably where a lot of the challenges, and Uranus being the progressive energy happening there as well, because you're not moving. Some of y'all was choosing not to move in y'all authentic self and y'all primordial self, and we not doing no more indoctrinated self. Everybody's going back to Lilith. Everybody's going back to their primordial self, and the longer you take to accept your primordial self, the longer it's going to take for the progress of you healing. Like a lot of y'all too busy judging other people and their personal choices and how they live their truth, in an audience, knowing damn well that level of vulnerability is brave as shit, and y'all sitting there, talking down on it and dismissing it and degrading it, whatever, knowing that you don't have the balls to do that shit yourself. And you don't. You don't. And you have to learn how to, because the fact that you're not walking your authenticity is why you don't have the tribe that you're supposed to have. If you notice, those people, regardless if you fuck with them and the stuff they say or not, they have a devout tribe behind them that reach out to them, that want to support them. And then some of y'all got the nerve to sit there and try to down talk their support and their love that they get from shedding their personal light. Like, that's wild, because it's going to be a period of time where it's your turn, and you're going to be vulnerable, and you're going to share your story, and you're going to do it how you see fit. And it's going to be very, transformational for you, and it's going to be difficult for you, and your voice is going to shake, and you're going to cry, and you're not going to want nobody to speak on you like that. You ain't gonna want nobody to say, "Oh, you just doing that for attention. You just doing that. You just doing that because you want people to look at you. People shouldn't support you. Anybody support you is dumb. Like, people that you ain't gonna want that. So don't give that. So don't give that. You gotta understand everybody is a part of the one, even if you don't agree with their part. That ain't your problem. That ain't your space. That ain't your place. That ain't your lane. You know what I'm saying? All right, so November 14th, we in waxing. So now we building up on the moon, right? And what we building is creating transformations, because Scorpio, the moon is still in Scorpio in the fourth house. So we're applying that to home and family, still in alignment with the soul. We in the soul energy here while we're building. So we were in the soul cleansing, now we in the soul building. The moon in Deshuba, moon in Graphius, and the moon in Aries all experience conjunction and minimal angle that day. That is the moon going through the Scorpius constellation pretty much. Those are the Saturn and Mars stars, and then we finally get to the Jupiter and Mars stars. So you get through the difficult issues, the technical difficulties of the transformation, and then you get to the more generous, the gift, the optimism, the silver lining. Oh, I get why that happened. To Tahuti energy, the hindsight vision at the end with Aries. The moon and Mercury are also having a moon angle in conjunction that day as well, which is pretty dope. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 happenings with the moon on November 14th, 1-4 adds up to 5, because the moon enters Sagittarius that morning as well. So even though we're in the Sagittarius zodiac, we're still in the Scorpio constellation, and that's why the moon was still meeting up with those stars. So transformations moving into joy at the end when moon aligns with Aries, and then welcoming the fact that the vortex is in Sagittarius. That's beautiful. So a lot of aha moments at the end of November 14th. Ashe. The November 15th, still in the moon of building, Sagittarius fourth house now, expanding in our sacral chakra, dealing with comet energy. C20 2019 E3 is the smallest distance to the sun. So now we have that comet on the spotlight, raining down on us. We're getting that ancestral energy in that way. Comet Atlas reaches max brightness later on that evening. And then the activity of Alpha Monoceratids, which is a fancy word for unicorn, begins. Maximum activity is 1122, which I think is, really cool because of the numbers 1122 from the Monoceros constellation. And Monoceros is unicorns. And we know unicorns are mystical, fantastical creatures. So to have 1122 date with such a fantastical energy raining down on us, because meteor showers are minerals and things that come to us in the firmament or whatever from the cosmos. So to have that happening from a fantastical constellation is a beautiful space. So on that day, believe believe in crazy shit, especially with Sagittarius energy being so generous, expanded, and optimistic. And we get into the jolly Christmas spirit type energy, and the innocence of a child, the joy of a child, how it's inhibited. Like nobody's telling a child how loud they can laugh, how loud their joy can be. That's what we go back to that day. And that's a good day to do that. I love it. Alpha Monocerotids 1122. Get on it. Mercury was sextile Venus that day too. So, that Mercury and Venus were, helping each other out. And that's a good vibe. November 16th, waxing crescent moon, Sagittarius. Now we're in the fifth house. We're in the community with our generous, expanded sacral chakra self. Max declination of the moon cycle during this cycle. So the moon was crescenty and very nice and big and beautiful looking. And then Mercury and Aries were in conjunction that day. That's the Jupiter and Mars energy, moon, sacral and solar plexus chakra combination, like nice little orange yellow situation there, with our throat chakra, invoking empowerment and joy for ourselves. The moon and Cause Borealis were in conjunction. That's the star located in the back of the archer's head. So the mindset of Sagittarius. So lots of intellect and downloads happening here. The moon and Albaldo were also in conjunction. And the moon entered Capricorn energy, and then the sun entered Draconic Scorpio, and Mars entered Draconic Scorpio. And that was yesterday when I first started this podcast episode. And so that happened at 3:30 a.m. when the sun and Mars entered Draconic Scorpio. And that's a good time. So happy soul, happy I still want to say solar, but I hope y'all know what kind of soul I'm talking about, to my sun and Mars Scorpio Draconic folks out there. My sun is in Draconic Scorpio, so this is a solar return for me for my soul's experiences. So I'm excited to meet some like familiar faces. And I remember the last uh Scorpio Draconic return type energy. I met some really, really cool, familiar people. So, last year I was stuck on it. I still did, though. I still did last year. It was just virtual. Yeah, it was just virtual. They ain't stop nothing. Energy out there try to stop something. They ain't stop nothing. Now, November 17th, which is today, we start the day off with a 17% waxing crescent moon, the moon rising at 11:21 a.m. and setting at 8:21 p.m. We are in the Capricorn zodiac energy with it in the fifth house, Capricorn being the energy of creation, boundaries, order, and the challenges that come into your life that help you create the boundaries, order, survival, and resources, sense of self. We're in the fifth house with it, which is the Leo house of love, creativity, your inner child energy. So going back to your inner child, and the different, challenges that inner child experience, and create some new discipline, order, and boundaries with expanded mindset there should be key. Venus and Parima are minimal angle at 4:05 p.m. Venus will be 1.1 degrees south-southwest, and we'll be able to observe that at 5:55 p.m. 5:55 a.m. this morning with a 1.2 degree southwest separation. The International Space Station will be visible from 6:11 to 6:17 p.m. The moon and Pluto will be at minimal angle at 3:12 a.m. with the moon being 2.7 degrees south, conjunction at 2:34 a.m. with the moon being 2.7 degrees south. And we'll be able to observe that at 8:02 p.m. with a 5.6 degree southwest separation. Now, the moon and Pluto being so close together in Capricorn is wild to me, but I am very much here for it. Transformations to the home and family. Check on your mothers, check on the feminine people in your space. A lot of things that we have been seeing in our third eye, we will start to, might, experience in our vortex a little bit. This is a divine alignment of our soul and our intuitive, the connection, that energy connection between the physical and the non-physical with our soul, the glue in between the two is, it's a nice opening there with the moon and Pluto together, like in Capricorn. So manifest. The North Pole of the moon is tipped into view. The evening visibility of Cancer begins. Oh, and with the North Pole of the moon tipped into view, you basically are looking at, the crown chakra of the moon, the Fibonacci realm, if you will. So that's vibes. The Mars and Sun will also be in conjunction. So now we have our solar plexus chakra in alignment with the solar plexus chakra of the solar system. Whew. So today is a good day. Ooh, today is a good day. And it's a motherfucking 11/17, 1/7. Y'all know what 7 represents. 1 is the knowledge, 1 is being a leader amongst the collective, 7 being spiritual self, coming in together with 8, that's transformations. Solar plexus chakra. Ooh, the moon and sun being in conjunction. That's a vibe. Our solar plexus as a collective is in alignment with the solar plexus of the cosmos today. Okay? That's happening tonight at 10:49 p.m., y'all. So tonight at 10:49 p.m., do some solar plexus breathing or something gotta happen with the solar plexus, y'all. Y'all gotta do it justice. Y'all gotta do it justice. We need that. Ooh, tomorrow is a good day. The sun is trying Neptune, so our experiences are going to be in line with our Akashic records, hidden agendas, hidden secrets, hidden enemies. The sun is putting a spotlight on a lot of things you already know, though. Like, you already know, but now you're about to experience it, and it's going to be like a all right, you're either going to feel empowered or you're going to be upset, because you got to give yourself the "I told you so" and "I'm sorry I didn't trust you," rhetoric with your inner self. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on how well you've been listening to yourself. And that happens at 8:35 this morning. I'll be awake because I got to get up and get dressed and stuff. So that sun trining Neptune is going to be why I don't even want to touch my phone. Oh shit! No, the sun trine Neptune is at 2:51 p.m. So I'll be awake. Mars trines Neptune at 8:35 a.m. So our solar plexus as a collective is going to be trying the was it the feminine side of the sacral chakra as a collective. So it's like your motivation is going to be in alignment with spiritual self this morning. So this morning when you start spirit got the wheel of fortune card today, y'all. Spirit got the wheel today with that Mars trine Neptune. Your motivation is in alignment with what spirit wants. Pay attention to the souls you attract today. Pay attention to the conversations you have, the energy exchanges, and the connections oh man, today is a good day, y'all. Today is a good day. Dang, I can't wait to go to sleep so I can start this day. Shit, today's a good day. Okay, so the sun enters Scorpio constellation today. That's at 3:30, and then Mars enters Scorpio constellation today too at 3:30. So remember, we had kind of like a boop boop boop. We entered the draconic Scorpio yesterday on the 16th, and so today we're entering the constellation. So the Vedic and the draconic are now only a day apart for some celestial bodies, a couple days apart for other celestial bodies, which is really cool. Really, really cool. So shouts to the sun. So ours, the solar plexus and the solar plexus of the cosmos are in alignment on the tropical, Vedic, and draconic chart. That's fucking wild, bro. Today is a good day. Today is a good day. November 18th, that's the Saturday. That's when we come into the day of the 9. That's my dad's birthday too. Peace. We're at 26% waxing crescent moon. Well, the moon will be in Capricorn zodiac, so nurturing spaces, building the boundaries, and finding resources and getting your things together in order and stuff. This is when people start preparing for the winter and hibernation and stuff like that. Y'all know it get dark at like 4:40. Sunrise at 6:47. We're in the 6th house with it, so with the moon energy, apply that to your daily routines, how you provide your health and wellness during the wintertime. It's time to start stocking up on your herbs, your tinctures, transform your diet, stop eating that bullshit. It's not summertime no more. Your body is not on 1,000. That means that your immune system needs lots and lots of support right now. So that means all that eating like it's the summertime, like you got all the immune system support right now, is wild. You will catch things. You will get sick. Your immune system will get weak if you if you eat a bunch of bullshit and start like living your life and doing other things. Like you're being susceptible. So play it smart. Um Venus and Parima are in conjunction at 12:39 a.m. Venus will be 1.2 degrees south. Parima is the star of prophecy. Venus rules over your vortex. We're talking about experiences here. You're going to have a prophesized experience here on the 18th, and it's probably going to be a lot to do with all the experiences you have with all the alignments happening on the 17th. The Leonids reach max activity. They move at 20 an hour, so you might definitely be able to catch one of those meteors from the Leo constellation. So that's cool because they bring the richest energy. Remember, that's fifth house. That's love, creativity, and like abundance, for real, for real. So that 18th being 1-8 as well as 9, and then coming into 11, and then coming right back into 1-8 once you add 11 to 7, the year of 7, and then coming right back into 9 is a vibe. So definitely bringing to a close everything you do today on the 17th, which is 8 coming into 2, which is 10 completion, 17 coming back into 17, which is 1 and 7. 7 is spiritual focus energy. That's what we're focusing on today, is the spiritual knowledge, right? And that's 8. Apply to your solar plexus chakra. Let it create transformation for tomorrow when we on the 9s. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. The sun will be conjunction Mars on the 18th too. So you'll have the sun and the Mars aligned. And then moon enters Aquarius that evening. And then the Pleiades cluster will be in midheaven. And that's how we deal with our wounds and stuff like that. On the 19th, the moon in Deneb Al Jelde will be at minimal angle, be in Aquarius. On the 20th, we'll be at a 47% waxing crescent moon in Aquarius in the 7th house. The first quarter moon will be happening at 5:51 a.m. The moon and Saturn will be at minimal angle, as well as conjunction at 9:44 a.m. And then we'll be able to see that at 5:14 p.m. because it'll be dark as shit. The sun sets at 4:39 p.m. Jesus Christ. The southern Taurus reached the end of that activity. The sun will be sextile Pluto, so our experiences will be getting the support of the transformations of solar plexus energy at 9:26 p.m. Then the moon enters Pisces. Well, moon enters Pisces zodiac at 2:29 p.m. So we start the day off in Aquarius, but we're going to end it in Pisces. And Pallas enters Scorpio zodiac at 3:50 a.m. So now the Pallas energy is going into the realms of transformation. So some of y'all been out here thinking, oh, I can't transform. I can't step into my power. I can't step into my solar plexus. Well, now it's going to be on a spotlight because the sun is over there next to Pallas. Spotlight and stuff. So November 21st, we have a 59% waxing gibbous moon. So we've moved from crescent to gibbous. So now we're in the space of building tangible things in our space. Now we getting into the firmament of things. We're in Pisces energy with it. So again, another day of allowing spirit to guide the way. 2-1 is 3. So we got mastery of creation. 11-3 coming together and make 5. What we create is going to create adventures for us, expand our curiosity in these realms. 5 and 12 come back together, make 12. We're back into the same 3 we were in with 21st. So we went from the 21st to the 12th, and we still in the 3. So November 21st is going to be a really good day to allow spirit to let you know what to create. Pisces is the moon being Pisces in the 7th house. That's Libra energy, justice and balance here. The moon will be the smallest distance to Earth with that energy. So, really it's a good day to soak up that, go outside and ground yourself. The smallest distance to Earth will be at 5:58 p.m. So I definitely will go outside and put my feet in the dirt. That moon is going to be real nice and pretty and big and Pisces and Libra. Saturn will be at the best visibility of the year. Ceres passes the sun. The conjunction will be at midnight. Ceres is the energy of agricultural nurturing energy. And so that's passing through our experiences. Mercury is trying Chiron. So our daily routine health and wellness is now going across some strengths that we turned into wounds, or some wounds we kept at wounds. And that's happening at 3:08 a.m. Peace, peace. November 22nd, now we at 11:22. We're at it. Oh, we start the day off at a 69% waxing gibbous. I love that. 6 9 on the 12, y'all. Moon rising at 2:05 and setting at 11:08 a.m. We are in Pisces, but now we are in the eighth house with the energy. So now the moon is closer to Neptune. In fact, Neptune, I said that and I didn't look at my paper, but the moon and Neptune will be at minimal angle in conjunction that day. Actually, it'll be happening at 4:49 a.m. And you'll be able to observe that at 12:49 a.m. Comet Atlas will be the smallest distance to the Earth, so that will be the ancestral energy we'll get. That's happening at 3:46 a.m. from the Scorpius constellation. The evening visibility of Mercury begins. Alpha Monoceratus, remember that's from the Unicorn constellation. They reach max activity. The moon enters Aries at 5:20 p.m. and Venus will be opposite Chiron at 4:44. 444 comes into 12:12 creation. So Venus, we know, is an earth energy, fixed earth energy. That's another space of materialization and pinnacles here. Listen, how y'all been carrying y'all wounds matter. We talked about Chiron a couple times before with Mercury. So now we have Venus experiencing Chiron. So whatever work you did with Mercury on your thought process, because uh that's all throat chakra shit. Venus is gonna come and implement that. So do your work. Do your work when you find out when Mercury is over there by Chiron. Do your work. Um Mars is sextile Pluto, so we get the support of our solar plexus transformations here, the alignment of the external and internal side of the solar plexus. Sappho enters Scorpio, sensual energy here in our attractions. Everybody wants the sex, so that's the sexy hour at 4 a.m. Some of y'all might be waking up with that energy, like, dang, what the fuck is that? Yeah. If y'all into tantric sex and stuff like that, 4 a.m. on November 11/22 is a good hour to do. November 23rd, 79% waxing gibbous, moon rising at 2:29 p.m. and setting at 2:30. Aries energy with it in the eighth house, sunrise at 6:53 and setting at 4:37 p.m. The AM visibility of the moon begins. Oh yeah, you were born on a waxing gibbous. Hey, you here for building up. Building up, we're building up, and now we're solid. So the AM visibility of Libra also begins. The sun is square Saturn that day, so your experiences, it's going to be a little resistance on the 23rd. Don't be discouraged, y'all. Y'all know we about to enter like the last, we kind of in between the last quarter moon, if you will, and that be the moon of caution, where you feel like things ain't coming to a close, but they are. So don't be discouraged. Remember the moon is in Aries in the eighth house, new beginnings to your solar plexus chakra. So when you have those experiences that are challenging your boundaries and order, know that you're the one that's in charge of that, and you can either transform them or you can keep them the same. But that power is up to you, baby. Can't nobody take that from you. Sedna enters the Taurus zodiac. That's the spiritual energy and the overall Taurus, because Sedna has been a retrograde, so it's going back to Taurus for a little bit, and it'll be back in Gemini later. November 24th, we're at an 88% waxing gibbous moon in Aries, and now we're in the ninth house, expanding ourselves with that Sagittarian house. The moon is at ecliptical latitude 0 and increasing ascending node. The moon enters Taurus at 8:29 p.m. and then Mars enters Sagittarius zodiac. So now our mindset on our motivation is entering that generosity, optimistic, whatever. And that is what, like the day after Thanksgiving or whatever. So that's when everybody puts up their Christmas tree, right? That's Mars being motivated by Sagittarius energy, right? Right on cue. That's everybody storming through motherfucking Black Friday stuff so they can buy Christmas presents. That's Mars entering Sagittarius. So we'll see how many people can rise above the cosmos. I ain't gonna hold you. I might do Black Friday this year, but it's not for Christmas because I had some shit in my cart for a long time, and my spirit was like, "Girl, wait till that go on sale." And that's the next sale that I know that's gonna come for sure. So my bad, y'all. November 25th, we're at a waxing gibbous moon in Taurus now in the ninth house, expanding our place of possessions and stuff because now we done bought all that stuff on Friday. The moon and Jupiter are in conjunction. So our nurturing our home and spaces all we decking the halls. Alpha monocerotids reach their activity. Mercury is trying the north node, so our daily habits and routine is being supported by our soul's direction, our integral code also. Mars is square Saturn, so our motivations and stuff like that. So all that money you spent on Friday and decking the halls and stuff like that, now you're gonna be looking at your bank account like, what the fuck? Mars enters Sagittarius zodiac at 4 a.m. So your motivations is really going into the holiday spirit and the generosity and stuff like that. It's just that at 12 hours later at 4:57 p.m. Saturn gonna be like, yeah. So you thought you was about to be ho ho hoing and jolly jolly jolly. I got something for that ass. November 26th, we had a 98% waxing gibbous moon in Taurus in the ninth house. The moon and Uranus will be at minimal angle, so progressive forces for you to tap into your intuitive self on this day. The moon and Pleiades are in conjunction. You'll probably be dealing with wounds and crying sometime during this day. More peace to you. Mercury enters Draconic Sagittarius chart at 4:10 a.m. and then Ceres enters Sagittarius zodiac at 4:10 a.m. Both good times. November 27th, we're at 100% wine and gibbous moon, which I love. 11-2-7, 11 on the nines, that's retribution. 11 and 9 come together and they make 11, right? Because that's 2 and 9, right? It's 2 and 9, or it's 21, which is 3. So we can either be at a 3 or a 2. It's whatever you want to do. We malleable over here. 9/11. 9/11 is cool. 9/11 is 7. And we're in Gemini with it that day. So that's a Gemini moon in the 10th house, which is midheaven house, the success. The sunrise at 6:57 is setting at 4:35. The full moon will be rising at 4:17 a.m., which is super dope because I was born at 4:18 a.m. Earth will be between the moon and the sun. This is the Beaver full moon. The moon and Aldebaran will be in conjunction at 3:06 p.m. The moon will be 8.5 degrees north. Mars and Teshuba will be in conjunction at 6:39 p.m. Mars will be 1.8 degrees north. The activity of the monocerotids begins. So now we had the alpha monocerotids constellation. Now we have the monocerotids. So during the month of transformations of Sagittarius energy, we have 3 meteor showers that come from the Monoceros constellation, which is really fucking dope because Monoceros, like I told y'all, is unicorn. So that's what brings on all the fantastical energy from this year, like a Christmas spirit, Christmas miracle, the gift of the Magi. Like all these magical things happen around this time in the darkness. We're dealing with Neptune and Pisces and Olukun energy here, and this is where the magic occurs. We're no longer stuck in the physical. When the sun is out, it's whatever you touch, and it's all physical things. But when the sun is gone, it's all non-physical things that we deal with now. Now we're in the magic, right? Now we're in Obatala is a magician, man. He was out here making people. That's crazy. That's wild. And that's what the energy we in right now. That's Tahuti, man. That's magic. So we're going to experience the 3 meteor showers from the Monoceros constellation, one from the head, one from the middle, and one from the booty. And all 3 of them is going to be magical, and it's going to be a great time. And so the moon also enters Gemini on the 27th at 12:40 a.m. Mercury is going to be square Neptune at 1:27 p.m. So you're going to feel that resistance between what you try to do in your routine and what spirit wants you to do. Please do what spirit wants you to do. Just flow. I know it's not what you had planned, but flow. Eros will enter the Aquarius constellation around 4:15 a.m. So we're gonna love everybody. We just aren't loving, or you're taking your love back. I don't know. It depends on how that square goes, huh? November 28th, 99% wine and gibbous moon. Now we're in the moon of cleansing. We're in the Gemini energy with it in the 10th house in our community, communications realm, our focus, You know, remember I told y'all find focus in that Gemini. The 10th house is a success house if you do. Sunrise at 6:58, setting at 4:35. East side of the moon is tipped into view. That's Mercurium. Venus and Speaker in conjunction. That's the star in the Virgo constellation. Mars into Jupiter at minimal angle. Venus is at perihelion at 4:36 a.m. So it's really close to the sun. The sun is square Lilith at 6:58 p.m. So there's some restriction there between our experiences and the primordial goddess. So y'all already know it's gonna be some crazy stuff happening on Instagram that day with women. Venus will be opposite the North Node at 11:46 a.m. And opposite just means there will be an opening between the vortex and the node. Mercury enters Sagittarius constellation at 4 a.m., which is pretty cool. Mercury entering Sagittarius constellation. So that means in our vortex, our daily routine is going to be in alignment with our sacral chakra. What feels good? What do you feel like doing? So a lot of y'all going to feel like doing a lot less than what y'all already doing, but are y'all going to listen? Who is in authority of your sacral chakra? Talk about it. Do that shadow work while we in the darkness. November 29th, 97% Juan and Gibbous. We're cleaning things out of our space. Gemini 10th house. Mars and Graphias at minimal angle, and that's happening at 2:42. Mercury reaches max brightness at 6:08. Moon and Teja posterior in conjunction at 12:24 p.m. Venus and Speaker at minimal angle at 12:29 p.m. Max north declination of the moon at 9:09 a.m. The moon enters Cancer at 6:54 a.m. That's the zodiac. And Venus enters draconic, the draconic Libra energy on 11/29 at 4:18. I was born at 4:18. I knew something was getting close to my birthday time. I knew I was waiting. But Venus enters draconic Libra energy, so our vortex, the vortex in our soul is now we feeling for the homeostasis here. So how much have you been listening to the Pisces energy leading up to this time? Because when we get to December 1st, your soul has to be right. Otherwise, how the fuck you gonna be out here doing a collective chanting for Lilith or doing solstice rituals and all this other stuff? You can't. You don't qualify, baby. You ain't listen to Pisces this whole month of November of 11 mastery. Pay attention to the numbers I've been telling you this whole time. Please watch this episode again. I know this was a very long episode, but like watch it in bits and pieces because I said a lot today. I said a lot. I'm gonna be watching it a couple times because I said a lot for me too. But yeah, 2/9, November 29th, we coming back to 11. That's 11, 11, 22, 4. 4 into 7 is what? 11. Yes, 11 again. This is a day of mastery. With Mars being around Graphias. That's the star in the Scorpius constellation. We're dealing with the connection between the Libra scales and the Scorpius claws here with Graphias. Mercury reaching max brightness, so like that light bulb about your throat chakra, it's coming. The moon and Teja posterior, that's the star in the Gemini constellation, that's dealing with the immortal twin. We being a warrior here, we're being an intellectual here. Venus and Spica, the star of harvest. We're harvesting in our vortex here on the 29th. Mastery. I told you all these 11s, right? And that's happening at 12:29, 1229, right? 3:11, 3:11, 14 coming into 5. Max north declination of the moon. The moon enters Cancer at 6:54 a.m. that day. So we wake up at midnight. If you out here at midnight, we in Gemini, but by 6:54, we're starting the day with the moon in Cancer, right? So let your third eye is out here. What you gonna do with them 11s? Venus enters draconic Libra. So now the soul of our vortex is finding the justice and equilibrium on the day of the 11s. That's what I'm talking about here. Your vortex and alignment of your soul is so essential here. You got to pay attention. If you don't know nothing about your draconic chart, hit me up, bro. My soul has been only wanting to do draconic readings for the past year now, and I know why. In this very moment, I now know why. For this, for this, because there will be way more celestial alignments and numbers that we're going to be becoming more and more aware of, and we're going to see more and more of. And we have to know that the vortex is in alignment with the draconic. And if we want to have more sense of why the people around you are so familiar and what y'all supposed to be doing together and why y'all met and stuff, y'all need to start talking to y'all about y'all draconic charts with each other more, and not just talking about yourself, but asking other people, hey, who are you? What are your draconic placements? I'm not just here to talk about myself. I'm here to figure out why you're here. Why did my energy attract you? Who are you? What's your energy? You know what I'm saying? That's Libra. Libra is sharing. It's not just speaking. You gotta listen too. It's a give and take. That's how the bond is created. That love energy awareness is key. It starts with a thought. Once you're aware, everything else comes into play. Now we get into the 30th, right? We on the day of creation. 92 wand and gibbous moon. We're in Cancer in the 11th house with it. So that's the Aquarius house, third eye going to your social awareness. Sunrise at 7:01, setting at 4:34. The moon in Castor. Moon is still near the Gemini twins. Conjunction at 5:28 p.m. Moon is 5.7 degrees south. Moon in Polox minimal angle. The other Gemini twin at 9:36 p.m. Moon will be 1.9 degrees south. Conjunction at 9:37 p.m. Moon will be 1.9 degrees south, visible at specified times. The south pole of the moon is tipped into view at 10:30 p.m. The Leonids reach the end of their activity on this day, and then Venus enters the Libra constellation. So again, like I told y'all, some of these planets have a day apart between the Draconic and the Libra. The Draconic is a day before the Libra by almost 24 hours completely, because Venus entered the Draconic Libra at 4:18 a.m. and then Venus enters the Libra constellation at 4:30 a.m. So it was almost a complete 24-hour turn before the vortex follows thereafter. So a lot of y'all having deja vu because y'all remembering what y'all did 24 hours before. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. That's cool. So now, we had December 1st. We had an 86% wand and gibbous moon. We're in the moon of cleansing. Remember, the moon is in Cancer in the 11th house Aquarius. Remember, I told y'all got to come together and do this. Y'all already know how the planets are going to be lined up. If you don't, rewind this back. At the start of 1 hour is when I started talking about the chakras and the planets or whatever. But we know that Neptune is going to be at 0 degrees. Igniting the pathway for Lilith. So yeah, December 1st, sunrise at 7:02, sunset at 4:34. Taurus constellation will be opposite the sun at 11:05, which is the best visibility of the year. Taurus is the vortex energy. We're talking about the fixed earth sign of Pentacles here. That means that our vortex is going to be on the spotlight. What does it look like? Is it pretty? The moon in Persepi will be in conjunction at 10:31 p.m. The moon will be 3.6 degrees north at 10:31 p.m. Persepi is the star at the eye of the Cancer constellation. Heavy download here. Heavy download here. Remember I told you if you want to do the thing with Lilith, that'll be at 12 a.m. Download could occur heavily at 10:30 p.m. later on that evening. And then the activity of puppet velets begin on this day too. Another meteor shower raining down on us. Maximum is on the 7th, and they move at 10 an hour. December 2nd, we're at 78% wand and gibbous moon. Now we're in Leo. Now we're in the external side of a 12th house. So whatever you did on Cancer, you're going to experience the next day. Be intentional. The moon in Persepi minimal angle. So we still have the moon in Cancer constellation in alignment with the eye. December 3rd, we have a wand and gibbous moon in alignment with Leo in the 12th house. Aldebaran will be opposite the sun at 3:18, best visibility of the year. The moon in Regulus will be at minimal angle. Regulus is the star of riches in the Leo constellation. So again, what y'all do on the 1st is going to trickle down to the 2nd and 3rd. Balance on the 2nd, creation on the 3rd. The activity of Sigma Hydrates begins. That is another meteor shower. The max activity is on 12/12, and that is the head of Monoceros. Remember, so that's 2 Monoceros meteor showers going on at the same time, y'all. One from the middle and one from the head. And then we have the activity of the puppet velets happen as well. So a lot of meteor shower energy happening. Ground yourself. It's a beautiful time to go outside and put your feet in the soil, set your intentions with the soil, all the minerals and vitamins that the soil is getting cosmically and environmentally is so essential right now. December 4th, the moon will be the furthest distance to the earth. The moon will be in Virgo in the 12th house. Mercury will have the longest elongation from the sun. December 5th will be the last quarter moon. It'll be in Virgo in the first house, so analyzing your ascending energy and appearance you give off in the room. The activity of Leonis minorities begin. This is coming from the Leo constellation, so riches and fantastical energy, all of that stuff is coming from the skies. Their max activity is 1220. So I don't know if y'all notice a lot of max activities coming on, 12 is the magic number, whether the last quarter moon is rising at 1250, or I believe the max activity of the sigma hydrates is on 1212. The moon and Persepi are minimal angle at 1221, while the moon is in Leo in the 12th house. Pay attention to the 12s that I'm telling you. 12 is creation, knowledge on the balance and the Libra scales. I want y'all to learn law, bonds, and contracts in this realm. Take initiative in that. Create with it. Because like I told y'all before, with all those Libra placements, basically the opening. Like before you were thinking it, now it's coming into your space and manifesting it with the planets going into your vortex. December 6th is a waning crescent moon in Virgo in the first house. Neptune will be stationary, and Neptune begins prograde on 12/6, 367. 367. That's nice. That's 9 and 7. That's 16 coming back into 7. A 7-day when Neptune goes prograde, and that's happening at 2:02 p.m. The number 4, stability for our Neptune. So again, were you reading the retrogrades? Pluto's prograde was October 11th. Saturn's prograde was November 4th. Vesta's retrograde began November 2nd at 1:09 a.m. and is going on until August 2nd at 2024. So the Vesta will be moving slow and steady for us. Jupiter retrograde started September 4th and it's until December 31st. Uranus retrograde August 29th to January 27th. Neptune retrograde June 30th to December 6th. Mercury retrograde is from December 13th to January 1st. The day after 12/12. And I'm pretty sure that's midnight, so it's probably in the cusp in between the two, right? So the next Mercury retrograde, 12/12, pay attention to your energy. Mercury retrograde coming right after. Chiron retrograde, it was from July 23rd. It's going on till December 27th. Aries retrograde started July 21st and it's going on till January 11th, 111. The meteor showers, the Draconid, October 10th, Prograde, October 11th, the Southern Taurus, October 16th, the Oranids, October 22nd, Leonids, Minorids, October 25th, and the Geminids from November 19th to October 24th. Now, the Geminids, that's the big one. That's the one that's 120 an hour. That's the biggest one, for this last quarter of the season. You're definitely going to catch a Geminid meteor shower if you go outside and look. I promise you. In my dream the other night, it was a meteor shower moving so slow, and they just kept moving so slow past me, and I'm looking at them and I'm like, well, why are they moving so slow? But it's so cool. Yeah, that was cool. That was really, really cool. I love that Mercury enters Sagittarius zodiac energy on 11/11. That was dope and very much appreciated and very much needed. Expanding to our communication self and our ability to invoke, expanding and finding joy in what we place into our personal, calendars and stuff like that. Yeah, we need that. We need that. Vesta will be entering Gemini zodiac on December 21st, another 12/21. Eros enters Pisces zodiac on December 9th at 5 a.m. Psyche enters Capricorn zodiac on December 27th. at 6 a.m. Ceres enters Scorpio constellation November 12th. We talked about that. Pallas enters Libra constellation that entered on 11/7. Eros enters Aquarius constellation November 27th around 4:15 a.m. And then Sappho entered Libra constellation November 8th. And then Psyche enters Sagittarius constellation on December 12th. Another 12/12 experience with Psyche entering the Sagittarius constellation. So that's going to be really cool too on 12/12. And then 12/21, and that's solstice time. So Vesta is going to enter Gemini zodiac on the solstice. Vesta is moving in retrograde. So Vesta has been in the Gemini constellation, but it's going to be entering in the zodiac on the solstice. So it's your passion coming into the community, invoking your community, traveling, intellectual self, focus. Find focus on that day. If you don't focus on that day, man, listen to some Abraham Hicks. I'm telling you, control that vortex, or you're gonna be everywhere attracting too much stuff that you didn't want, at all. So that's all my visuals. Again, please reach out to me, especially if you need a draconic chart reading. I do the short draconic readings for $33. The longer, more drawn out ones are $111. But the drawn out one is dope. Don't sleep on the drawn out one, because I use these. These right here are my rulers. For those of you guys who've already had readings from me, you already know you get all this information, and you get a whole breakdown of the houses, the zodiacs, the signs, with body parts, with chakra. You get a whole dissertation from me for 111. So it's worth your while to get the 111 reading. However, you also can get the $33 reading, which is a quick one, draconic, chart placement, how they interact with each other and stuff like that. So you have those options. Please get with me if you're not into with the draconic reading. I am here for you. I can also do tropical Vedic, whether on the natal or progressive side, for all three of those charts. I can also do a synastry chart reading for your natal and progressive self, or whatever you need. Like, I'm here. Here are some of our sponsoring companies: Body and Yoni Essentials, making the soaps and stuff. And also, it's 117 on 11/17, gang off in this thing. And then we have the 111 reading, is everything right? And then we also have the safe space, become a certified safe space. Please reach out to me. I am the VP of of JDL Enterprises. If you're interested in becoming safe space certified, it's a really dope community to join. I went through all three levels, and yeah, like it's definitely something to be proud of. Changed my life for the better. It's a big difference in my energy, how I express myself, how I conduct myself, how I present myself, express myself. Big difference in my space. If y'all would have seen me like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I was still on my path, but my delivery was a lot different. So, let me know if you're interested in becoming safe space certified. Cosmic Nobodies University has aligned with JDL Enterprises. There is an alignment between my energy awareness courses and JDL. So you will be sitting on some one-on-one courses, some group and one-on-one courses from me. If you become safe space certified, I will be your professor as well. I don't know why that sovereignty seance is still up there. It shouldn't be, but just to remind y'all, we are back in nomination season of the Cosmic Nobody's Convention. Nominations is open until May 1st. So if you're interested in nominating your healers, please reach out to me so I can send you the Google form link if you don't already have access to it. I also suggest you guys joining my Cosmic Nobody's channel on Instagram, because I do consistently share. I'm trying to get more consistent than what I already am, but like links and things like that, and reminders about nominations and stuff. So it's like way easier to just go to my Instagram channel and just scroll through the shared media from me and find it. But yeah, we're in nomination season. It's free to nominate. It's free to be nominated. This year we would like donations, so we are accepting donations to create the awards and mail the awards out. And also we are going on tour. We're going on tour in the spring, Cosmic Nobody's tour, during the last month of nominations, to spread the word state to state that we happening. And if you would like the Cosmic Nobody's Convention in your neighborhood. Let me know because we're still trying to find a location. Remember, the Cosmic Nobody's Convention is every year, the last Saturday of August. And I'm very grateful that this is our 4th year. This is our year of stability, y'all. Oh, also reach out to my brother Naganetta Radio, another sponsoring, brother Naganetta Radio. He will play your songs. He also makes graphic designing. He has his packages. Please reach out to the brother. He does big things. Also Chakra DJ, the sound shaman, DJ Archie Angle. Reach out to him for your event needs. My man is really, really dope on the ones and twos. Don't sleep on him. He's very great. Cosmonauts University. This is my shield. I love this so much. I can't wait to have this on. I made this. I can't wait to have this on notebooks and hoodies and shit. I love this. I'm very proud of this. I made this last year. Maybe a little over a year ago now. I've been trying to manifest this Cosmic Nobody's University for a minute. I just, allowing the space and time, but I do little things here and now, like little Easter eggs that lead up to it because I know we're going to get there. But yeah, these are the shields. This is the shield for the Cosmic Coven. And that's all I got for you. Oh, and if you want this information, this is a connection between the seasons, like I was telling you about. The seasons of drought, growth, and flood, in alignment with the Pare and Aket and Shemu, and the Egyptian name. And then we get into, and you can align it all with the actual current date. So it's November 28th. Well, no, October 28th to November 27th. We're in Hathor, Hathor. We know who Hathor is. And this is the 3rd month of flood. You know that this is the month of the Great Flood, right? With Utnapishtim in the ark or whatever. So that's this month. This is the last. Well, no, we got one more month of flood. Oh yeah, that's right, because we complete at the end. Oh bang! So the fourth month of like flooding is the rainbow. That's fire. I fucks with it. Okay, cool. I fucks with it heavy. Bet that is completion. Yeah, I really rocks with the ancient Kemet seasons and stuff a lot more because I just really love this idea of having 4 months in a season to really solidify a season rather than being stuck in a spiral of 3s. But yeah, neither here nor there. Actually, it is. But yeah, we're still in Aket, so we're still in the season of flood. So and we know that monsoons, hurricanes, storms, Ninos and Ninas, they're all, happening. And this was in alignment with the eclipse energy I went over. And it's 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to close with this nice diagram of all of the meteor showers and what the moon is doing when those meteor showers are happening. So I love y'all. I'm going to close y'all out on the 309 at 1, 2, 3. Peace, y'all.